Ladies and gentlemen, we have Beasty and Loue in this matchup. I would like to have the ultimate guy who brings the caster curse. And guys, Ascalad, this is the master of caster curses.
I'm sorry about that, by the way.
What is your prediction?
Loue versus Beasty. We saw Loue struggling yesterday, but today against Demu, let's just say when I was observing that match, usually it's quite laid back. You know, Cow doesn't really have a hard job when he observes, but when Loue plays, there's 3 screens in front of you and there's 7 attack pings. So I'm gonna say we're gonna go to a... No, Loue takes it. Loue takes it. It's gonna be close. We're gonna play all maps.
Oh my gosh, this man is hopeful. And on my side, I'm going for a 4-0 because I know that there is some cooking that happened before. Yes, you can look at me like that. Maybe I'm caster cursing it. Maybe I want Loue to...
Give me some secret information here.
Secret information.
What's the sauce?
You just gotta break down Louis' walls. He builds a lot of walls. Have you guys seen those blocks on the map?
He builds walls? We never noticed.
What?
We never knew.
Now, we used to say wham walls, but ladies and gentlemen, actually.
Look, we had wham walls, we had Waldemar, but like Loue makes them all look pretty amateurish.
Luol. He's the Luolst of them all. Now, Loue definitely showing his strength. But look at that first matchup already right above my head here. Delhi versus China on the wonderful map of Lipany. Now, Lipany, we did see some shenanigans on this map. I want to take this moment in Dark Age where absolutely nothing is happening to talk about the shenanigans that we've seen on this map during this tournament. You guys have seen a ton of stuff going on, aka a Berkshire in the middle of the map on one of those sneaky little hills. Look at those sheep, very nice. Look at that, that's a nice little Berkshire placement. Throwback to, I believe, when one of our grandpas decided to do something like that. Very beautiful, very demure, but did end up costing him the game against Loue. Now, we have Delhi and China on this matchup, so Ascalad, how do we feel about this matchup, sir?
Delhi and China. Now, this used way back when, this used to be a very China favorite matchup, but Delhi has since received multiple buffs. Now we're in the Pro Scout meta. Delhi a little bit late on their timings, of course, and China is primed to do just that, snacking all of the deer. And you see the Imperial Academy already going up with 5 this time around. Domo to Faith only going with 4, and we have that Chinese build speed. I'm not quite sure what Loue is cooking here for us, but real quick, let's just imitate that Bard impression here and go for the introduction. We've got the grand finals, people. It is Loue MT straight from China, and he's going to make a play for the crown. On the other side, we've got, well, you know, the most famous player of AOE4. It is Beasty.
Beastyqt. Oh, Beasty. I should not use the cutie in this.
Where did that go, by the way?
I think it just started to die off. Maybe when he hit 34, he was like, okay, we're getting serious. No more cutie in the name. We just want to keep it serious. We want to be a beast. And that's why he has now cut off the last part of his name. Sad, sad moment for those of us who are stuck with that, since our actual name is banned on Twitch. Very nice. So, Loue,
I'm always weirded out by that.
Loue, though, he's on his home turf, not Germany, where we are right now at the LAN, ladies and gentlemen, but rather he's playing Chinese from China. So he is definitely going to be fine on a map like this that is very good with walls. So I'm feeling good for Loue in this matchup as long as Beasties, Ghazi Raiders do not stop that professional scouting from going too wild.
You're jumping to a lot of conclusions here. But let's quickly talk about those deer spawns. We see the one for Loue all the way at the bottom in the corner there, which is, of course, very nice to wall off, since, you know, some people like to wall. And the other one close to his base, also pretty easily takeable. Oh yeah, the top side is closed there, so we only have the bottom open. And Beasty on the other side, he has both of his on top of his base. So he'll be able to fight for those quite effectively, very close. And we'll see if Loue can make a play for those. Pro Scout also coming in for Beasty. And does he add a second mill? No, doesn't look like it. It's just a Pro Scout, so horticulture will be delayed. No survival techniques for now. We do see an early barracks for Loue already popping out them spears. He did not open with a stable.
And that, honestly, I'm surprised. Loue now already switching up. He knows that Beasty is a little bit of an aggressive boy, and he's preparing for that aggression himself. And getting those spearmen, definitely a very big power play here by Loue, because it's instantly going to counter exactly what Beasty's doing. And we see Loue is getting comfortable in his base. He's like, let me sit back, relax, and wall up, baby. That's exactly what he does. Every entrance has been walled. You were talking about those attack pings. I feel like we should get some wall pings happening here, because this base, it's locked in.
Yeah, there's our stable finally coming up. Beasty already with 3 Gazis on there, but where is he gonna find any purchase? Can we quickly take a look at that gold on the Chinese side? I don't think he even... Yeah, he still has 3 on the gold. No, never mind, it's the wrong side. Ah, Louis pulled off of the gold. I am already confused. It's great. But we do see 4 Imperial officials, so he'll be just fine with just the tax money and the supervision for the extra income.
Now, I do have a big question for our Mr. Observer there. Can you click on a Chinese mill for me for a second? Because I don't know if we've missed it, or if the man didn't cook. The man is not cooking.
He's not doing
He's
it,
not
and I appreciate him so much.
This is exactly what Beasty would not expect from Loue, because Loue is a man who, he likes his deer. But what I want to point out, remember how you talked about Beasty's deer spawn? They're quite safe. He's going to try to get that yoinking capacity to its maximum ability over on Louis' side. But right now, those Gazi Raiders are idle, and they see the boys that are cooking. But Beasty still making Gazis. He still wants to have that mobility. He can charge in just like that to try and do some damage on the horses, but he needs to be careful. The thing about Delhi is they don't mind taking a little bit of damage because, as we can see, there are some prelates on their way that will expire. Everything scholars on their way. Sorry, Delhi.
Do see a little bit of an engagement here, and Beasty just pulling back. He doesn't need to take a straight up fight, but with no archers yet on the field. Okay, we do see the first archer as I say that. So archer range is primed, and Delhi has that extra production speed with the efficient production. So if Louis were to make this a spear horseman power play and just feudal push, he'd be just fine. And look at what Louis' tech is just finishing up. It was just delayed. And
that is a responsible professional scouts. That is not just any professional scout. That is the most responsible one I've seen all week.
Seasoned scouts? Possibly.
And what I absolutely love is Beasty also has not invested in more scouts. He's used every single tick of his economy or of his production to try and make Gazis. Now with 1 scout and professional scouts finishing, he's going to be able to start picking up the deer, but that's not the focus here. The focus is trying to trade into this army. Now Beasty's Delhi has been quite known for some shenanigans, I would say. Now the shenanigans in this case is he looks like he's dead, and all of a sudden he's killing all your units. So Beasty is very known for, you know, playing quite aggressively and feudal and sometimes overcommitting a little bit. Now with Louis going for pro scouts, this is not something Beasty might know at this point. We do see a yellow dot going towards his Louis' side there, and I'm wondering if this man is thinking about scouting the deer himself, trying to see what is going on. But the Gazi Raiders, giving them mobility, they're just running around and trying to keep Louis busy. Now, before we just look at the scouts, ooh, a nice little engagement. We talked about the fact that people stopped scouting when professional scouts became a thing. And this is something Beasty has not stopped doing just now. He keeps scouting. His scout is with that Gazi army while professional scouting at the same time.
Yeah, and he'll also be watching the fog, watching for those deer to disappear from the map there. Then we go down, he's moving straight for it, and hey, look, there's no more deer carcasses. There's nothing.
Oof. The map has been cleaned out on that side, but Beasty, he puts a Gazi there. He knows when the deer will be picked up by Louis' scouts, but Louis is looking for a little bit raid of his own. Louis showing some teeth here. The man who's the king of defense for the last few series, I would say.
Yeah, he came in from the top side there, trying to find a little bit of a purchase on the gold and maybe intercept some scouts. Nice side there, side flanked by the spears coming from the front, but yeah, the Gazi are just too tanky. Now, those archers have been scouted out. Louis sees exactly what's going on. Is he going to react to that? I don't think so, because if you look at his resources, he's already cooking. And, Mareke, we are 10 minutes into this game. All of these sacred sites are very much not lit.
Getting a Delhi to not capture those sacred sites is probably already quite a win for Loue. He's already forced his opponent to be a little bit less aggressive than we would usually see. But Beasty has quite a big army. Him going for something like Castle right now, it is risky because you run the risk of having a massive army hurtling towards your base. And I want you guys to see there's more walls on Louis's base. He knows that this is a risky move, and him going up now with 6 doesn't mean he's going to rush it. He's going to make sure he has enough to get all those upgrades. But Beasty, on the other hand, though...
This looks like an actual push towards Louis's base. Beasty smells the castle age coming, and he'll be taking the sacred sites as he goes past, and then head straight through, try to find some damage here. I really like the wall that Loue put up towards the middle there, by the way. But we do have an attack ping, the horsemen trying to get into Beasty's base, trying to get a villager kill. So far it's still 0-0, and looks like we're still staying there.
Yeah, now I can see we are missing out on some horse action, but they might be caught out here when they turn around and they are running right into the archers, stopping a scholar or two from running too freely. Oh, they did poke him a little bit in the head there, but they're quite fast. They're going to get out of this, not running straight into the archers.
Maybe Loue will actually commit for this scholar here, though. Guys, all alone. The Ghazi are here, so he's gonna lose a horseman here, or maybe 2. Yeah, just loses the 2 there. That's definitely worth to stop the sacred site from being taken, from being lit. You see in the middle there some beastie walls going up around the sacred site just to prevent Loue from decapping too fast, while Loue also taking his own deer pack at the western edge there.
Now, what's really funny for me here is the fact that Beasty is not pushing with this age up timing. He realizes, okay, you've aged up. I'm just not going to be able to break through these walls right now. I'm just going to try and secure these sacred sites and do what Delhi does best. The question is now, is Beasty going to wait for those upgrades before he starts pushing? Is he going to push at all? Or is he just going to go for a castle? And with 7 on gold...
Oh, that's a nasty surprise there for those Ghazi Raider. Turns away at the last second. Good eye, good reaction, but Loue trying to decap the middle, and he sees the walls and is like, wait a minute.
Those are mine! I'm supposed to do that!
Now, I was going to say about those walls that Loue put into the middle, I really like that he has a gate right next to the sacred site. He can pull back whenever he wants and fight there. By the way, already first sprinkled out, so in case Beasty was going for a feudal push there into his base, yes, I realize this is a clock tower sprinkled, it's gonna be even beefier, but just in case Beasty were trying to overwhelm with numbers, the siege, of course, a great choice. Now Beasty, he's going for castle age. He has 1 sacred lit on the middle and 1 at the top, and he still has enough gold income to just get up, but Loue has a good timing, already grabbing the first relic. And we have a raid on Louis's food in the back. Loue is completely starved because he's spending everything on palace guards and knights.
The thing is, those palace guards and knights, they are going to be so powerful against Beasty for the next while. He's getting the House of Learning. He wants to send that whole army to school. The boys are starting to attack, though. But in those small numbers, they can be picked off. Beasty hasn't reacted to
Look at
yet.
those cramped infantry stacks, and the first hit just cleaves about 10 units from the sprinkle.
Now, we do see a yellow attack there on the bottom side as well, but for now, we're just going to be seeing these archers trying to focus down that horse. The palace guards, fewer numbers, are going to take quite a bit of damage, and more lancers join the party. They turn around. This looks like they do want to commit a little bit more, but the Springald is just going to be tickling there from the back. Still a yellow blob down there in Louis's base. And
Loue sees the villager, snacks it, and leaves again. He does leave a palace guard behind. Beasty's up to castle now, so Loue knows this is the timing. He just got the second range defense finished, and now he's gonna dive. We don't have any castle units queued for Beasty just yet. He's just queuing his upgrades, and no lancers, no elephants, no crossbows, and as I say that, there's 2 elephants.
And this is something we've been seeing from Delhi's. Delhi's have felt quite confident in getting those elephantos out into the army, because it forces your opponent to commit quite a lot to it. Now we do see those units diving quite a far way in, and the horses are getting onto the archers, the lancers doing some work on them, but the scholars are doing their best at keeping this army healthy. Keep that archer alive, they say. He stays alive. The Lancers committing quite far in, losing a handful of scholars here, but the elephants have started coming out, and this is going to start turning in Beasty's favor. But that Springald is just looking for some damage. Villagers splitting up a little bit and taking a lot of fire. Apparently, those aren't too bad.
Yeah, Beasty going for the surround here on the Springer. He's just gonna take it out with one quick swipe, and that elephant is pushing Louis' army away. Now, if we look at the villager kills, you can actually see he didn't manage to find any damage at all. 3 villager kills. Beasty has 6 at this point, and Louis can't stay here. He cannot fight the 2 elephants. He only has 11 spears to his name. Beasty still has 24 archers, so those spears have no staying power. We did see in the other games already, the archer and war elephant is quite a potent combination, and what will Louis have to do against this? We'll find out in a second, but look at that relic counter here. This early push from Louis definitely was already worth it, grabbing all 5 relics. 2 of them still on the way though.
Now, that's usually the power of Delhi. The power of the relics is in their hands because they have so many scholars, they're just able to put them everywhere around the map. But with Louis' push, like you said, he's kept control on the map. Beasty's poor little scholar running out there, about to see absolutely nothing in front of him. Gonna be going home empty-handed. Now, Delhi, they don't need upgrades, or they don't need gold for upgrades, but they do need gold for units, and those elephants are expensive.
Yeah, scary part for Louis now though. His pro scouts, his deer have run out, if I see that correctly, so he's out on the map grabbing food. And if Beasty realizes, never mind, he still has some carcasses, but he's trying to eat away at all of those outside resources as fast as he can, because right now he cannot face this army from the Delhi.
The problem with this army is it can heal, and your army is not going to trade as effectively into it, considering they're all melee. And those elephants, they do quite a bit of stomping when they get angry, and it will cause some AOE damage. Now, there is a little bit of a raid coming there from the top from Louis. He's going to be running into Beasty's base, and at the same time, it doesn't look like Beasty wants to move that army too far ahead into Louis' side. Now, the green blob at the top is about to TC dive, but they do get targeted by the TC itself, and the elephants are looking at them with vengeance in their tusks.
We already have 5 elephants. Now, the actual weakness of those elephants is actually the move speed. Even with the House of Learning, if you just raid and raid and raid and make the Delhi player turn in a circle so he can never actually go and, well, destroy your army or fight you directly, then he's gonna be in for a bad time, as we see Beasty put up more walls and protect his sacred sites, just so Louis can't do what I just talked about.
Now, the problem for Louis is he needs to do a little bit of damage. Delhi is a civilization, again, with all their free upgrades. You feel a little bit pressured because all those upgrades are going to be kicking in pretty soon, and we can see that. But he's also not on Song Dynasty, and that's the power of China. With China, once you get into Song Dynasty, those villager production, it's just so much faster. But that's not the case here. Louis is dead even on villages, and Delhi doesn't mind that at all. Delhi now
he's actually behind, by the way, because there's 4 Imperial officials in that.
That's big brain. And this is why I cannot beat Ascalad in ranked.
That's because I don't play as much anymore. But we'll meet eventually as we watch Beasty's army walk into the middle and decap that again. That monk, forgotten.
Forgotten and dead. Unfortunately now, that tower also going to be going down right after those walls, making the elephants run a little bit tight round, but they're looking for a way in. And Beasty, honestly, he took a play from the book of Louis himself, and he's building his own walls.
Do you think he's putting those corners in intentionally just because he wants to imitate Louis and trigger him?
No, I think he just wants to box the boxer. Now, for those of you who don't know, Beasty is actually a very prominent boxer. He likes to put up a good fight on these maps, and apparently he wants to show that in shapes of walls today.
He's preparing a sucker punch, by the way. If you look at his resources, that might be real bad news for Louis. As I said, he can't really contest the army with the 6 war elephants and 24 archers. He's massing up right now, Louis is. And in the meantime, Beasty is gonna be cooking Imperial Age.
Now with Beasty cooking all the way to in, while Louis is only cooking Song Dynasty, this is going to be a meal that's not very compatible.
Look at those Nest of Beasts, though. Beautiful connection. Beasty does not scout them in the fog, and the first hit is already massive. If he can catch this army out, the speed for the elephants just came in, so they can somewhat run away, I'll say, and Louis doesn't really want to go for it, because without the Nest of Beasts following up, he cannot directly engage.
Now, Beasty is in a position where he is considering, do I just keep making units? I think the answer is a clear no. With all the resources he has in the bank, he's comfortable going into the late game, knowing that Loue hasn't had that extra little bit of tick on his side. We see a lot of walls, but I do see a second TC from Loue as well. So Loue realizes, hey, I'm behind, most likely. I need to make sure that I do catch up. So that second TC is going to allow him to catch up in villages, but also just get to that point where you are ahead of your opponent. Palace of the Sultan gets picked here from Beasty, and this is going to ensure that those elephants come out nice and strong and very busted in terms of trying to kill them, because my goodness, when I see a ranged elephant coming my way, I'm already panicking.
2TC song is up and running now, and Loue is also cooking Imperial Age as we speak. But the sheer value that Beasty will get from his 23 scholars, and he has 4 more in queue right now. The second he hits Imperial is absolutely insane. How are we looking for gold control? There is actually three small golds at the bottom side that will be a very prominent place to control here. And we do have a little bit of a Loue settlement to the left. What is that? Show me. Okay, it's just the tower and the berries. All right.
Now this tells you that Loue isn't ready for that Imperial Age economy that China so loves. Now the farm transition, as I was going to say, the farm transition or lack thereof is going to start playing a part. But Beasty, he has to ask himself that question as well. Am I going to have enough food to consistently produce and replace once the pushing begins? Loue is about to invest all those extra resources into going Imp, but a Chinese Imperial is very, very scary, and the upgrades do come in at normal speed. Now, this does give Beasty some time to wait for his, but we can see him suiciding some of these low-cost units to try and pick off some vills and just cause a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, and also finding information. What is in the back of Louis' base? Maybe sending some attack pings, but we do see a Great Wall Gatehouse going up on that right side, big gold. As we see him cancel it and go for a more aggressive one right in between there. That's a berries, boar, sacred side, and gold. That's a beautiful spot.
Can we just take a double look and see if Loue is actually playing this? Because my goodness, what an aggressive player. Just like that, showing us his teeth finally. He enjoys the late game, and he says, during Imperial, that's when I'm willing to be a little bit aggressive.
You know, maybe he took a little bit of a play out of Kiljardi's book there, and just thought, I'll build my buildings a little bit closer to the enemy gates.
Now, just like the Berkshire that we saw in English before against Loue, you have to consider that this is the gold player trap. The gold player trap is the landmark in the middle of nowhere that's putting a little bit of pressure on you, but you could mostly ignore it and try to attack from the other side. So let's see what Beasty decides to do, and if this is going to be his gold player bait, but there's a lot of
that
stuff
could be
here.
a nasty catch here. Loue moving his entire army, and Beasty's not reacting just yet. There's no trying to surround it. Now there is, and he catches even more villagers there. A little bit of a late reaction. That keep might not be going up, but we have the armored beast elephants flanking now.
Now, this is such a tough position for Loue because he doesn't have the ability to get through those walls quickly. Beasty double-walled, taking that tip from Loue, and he's like, hey, actually I could box your army in, and then we'll talk. So he will be able to burn this down, but it does feel a little scary. He picked up quite a few Nest of Beasts now, firing back.
Nice hit. Do you see what the first upgrade is that Loue got the moment he hit Imperial Age? It is just about to finish there. We get the additional barrels for the Nest of Bees, and then he's going for his spear upgrade.
When you have 7 Nest of Bees, you know you can mow down almost any army, but the armies you mow down is usually not consistent of elephants. Those elephants, they should be able to take a punch with the scholars standing behind them, healing them. This should make it a little bit harder for those Nest of Bees to flourish, but let's see if Beasty actually does have the ability to try and control what his opponent is going to be able to push. Now with that keep that he planned there at the top, he is trying to keep that eco safe. He's waiting for his upgrades. You can see those upgrades ticking in for Beasty, all of them free, but he's still not max pop, and I don't know if he's just waiting for a few more of those spicy elephants that are coming up.
Yeah, he's getting those pretty fast. His elephant count is already insane. He has 31 scholars, just boosting all of his Imperial upgrades. It's that nice feeling that you get as the Delhi as you hit him, and you just queue upgrades for 10,000 gold and you don't pay a thing.
Now they do take a while, and with those scholars making sure that they're inside of our buildings, they're ensuring that they're there pretty quickly. Now, Beasty here, getting those high-value units out is going to be so important. And you can see with the extra amount of scholars he queues up, he feels that they are important in this fight. He wants to make sure that when he gets them, he's going to be able to heal up that whole army when they start going to the front lines. Because this army, it is a very scary one. And I don't know if this is a unit that can kill these things.
Beasty is ready to fight right now. He's got the biology. He has got 32 scholars. He's now getting the siege works as well and the adjustable crossbars, but he doesn't actually need them because, well, he doesn't have any mangonels. He made some bombards to be able to snipe out the nest of bees, but his elephants have all the upgrades. They do have the zeal, which he prioritized in the mosque. So if he fights here with elephants and with scholar healing on top of them, even if it's under the gatehouse, I'm not sure if Loue can beat this army.
Beasty has completely also pulled off of food or run out of food. This man has no food. He's just like, I'll get the free units. Actually, I'm fine with that.
You know what? Yeah, I'll make my transition. I'll just get 3 super elephants, and in the meantime, let me retake those sacred sites and show my grey friends.
And he's sending the Tusk boys forward. There's a lot of them. They're going to struggle to fit through that gate. And as they're walking down, Loue seems to be throwing some signals that he needs to go back. Now, we'll see if those elephants are going to find their targets, because they've been wandering around a little bit more. And I want to ask myself, is Beasty playing into what Loue likes? Beasty has not been able to break Loue, and we're both in Imperial. We're at 27 minutes. And this is Louis's type of game. But my question is just, doesn't Beasty also like this type of game?
I mean, if you're the Delhi, you definitely like this type of game right now. I know it doesn't tell the whole story. I know there's bombards. I know there's hand cannoneers that Loue is frantically trying to get. I know there's 7 nest of bees, but look at the army value for 1 second.
And if I see that army value, whew, that is just so scary. That's double the army value from Beasty. But this is not a very replaceable army as well. Now, what I'm seeing here from Beasty, slowly going back onto the food. We're getting the Springald upgrades too. With a singular Springald, the archers are going to have some extra spicy range. And we'll see if this fight is actually going to yield any potential. And that's the problem when your defensive landmark is all the way in China. It's not going to do much once the army goes the other way.
You've been waiting to say that the whole game, haven't you? We do see Loue also going for his full farm transition, and Beasty going for some Loue walls of his own there at the back. It's gonna go for the stone variety for both sides this time around, and we look at that army number. Oh my god, Louis in for trouble. Beasty's army is just so scary, and I feel like if he doesn't soon take a trade here, then I'm not sure if it's great for him the closer we get to the Chinese base, because I'm expecting Beasty to win this fight. Because his army is just that much higher quality right now.
Now, he's still got some scholars back there in the base, even though our army value is quite high on this side. Keep in mind, the scholars do count for this, right? And they're not part of this fight just yet. Some of them are still sitting at the university, thinking about the researching and trying to get those done as quickly as possible. 14 of them still sitting in the building. And bombard.
First bombard just disappears to Louis' siege there. Nicely played, nicely spotted. But do you see that scholar sprinting up there? I always find it funny where you see them walk by.
They have the fastest legs in all the land. You see that little staff? It's actually made of air, and it helps them float really fast. Now, these elephants, they need to be careful because bombards always been the natural counter to elephants. You know, if you're out in the wild, scared a little bit, you just build a bombard, deal with those elephants from afar, and that's what he decides to do with the Springald as well. He says, natural counter to Springalds, 3 bombards.
Loue getting up a tower there just to get the vision and just taking a few pot shots with its bombards. I'm quite surprised that Beasty doesn't actually engage, but he'll know better than I am. This is a very scary fight for both sides. Imperial Palace coming in, so we've got the Yuan Dynasty. Loue slowly getting his upgrades, and Beasty is already pretty much maxed out. He got every single update in the book, except for those elite army tactics. 1 elephant and a little bit of army gets sacrificed, but I do think that's intentional because Beasty is pop cap, and those Sultan Tower elephants, they do not get out right now.
Now, the problem for Beasty is he needs to get rid of these low-value units. I say low value, but that army value still feels so scary. But those archers...
Hey, that's
there's
open.
a hole!
And Loue immediately realizes and puts a wall up.
He doesn't want to get caught out like this. Those villagers frantically trying to prepare, but you can see now.
And so does Beasty. Now this is actually beautiful, but there's a little bit of a problem rolling up as we speak.
He tries to get as much of this as he can, but those Nest of Bees have joined the party. The thing is, all those units are out of place. Does Beasty try to go for an attack now? And I do see a big army moving towards a very, very scary landmark that's about to fire back. And we see the trebuchets have joined the party. They're going to be hitting straight at it. And those things don't mind a Nest of Bees shot too much.
Yeah, is he gonna go for the gatehouse with the whole elephant army right now? Gatehouse, of course, does a little bit of AoE damage, but he could be spreading out those elephants. He's already slow-trapping everything here. And Loue, he's actually gonna go for an aggressive keep on the left side, going for more gold control. Now, we talked about that Beasty is getting the free elephants, but that is the only thing he's getting for free because all of his upgrades are now through. He's maxed out in Imperial Age with that elite army tactics. Yeah, Beasty's definitely just going for the gatehouse here with his whole army. And where is Loue? It's still in the middle.
Now, the thing is, when you get that gatehouse down, I feel like it's not just about losing your gatehouse, it's about the mental toll that thing takes. Because now, once that thing goes down, it feels like, oh, what do I have to defend myself now? The army is all the way to the other side. These elephants are scary. Keep in mind, Louis's army is also quite immobile. There's Nest of Bees, they walk quite slowly. And look at these guys, the spearmen just thinking about their next day.
Did you see that scary landmark just disappear? But Louis cooking interesting things. We see a Ming dynasty go up as he ages up to Imperial once again. And yeah, Ming dynasty over Yuan means he's not prioritizing the speed for his units. He wants more health on them. Now, is this a reaction because he wants more health? Because it also affects his siege? Is he just going to fully rely on that to fight this? The elephants are very clustered. This is not a great spot to fight against mass Nest of Bees, but where are they?
That's the problem. When those Nest of Bees start walking around, they do get stuck between different things and they take a long while to get their wheels rolling. Now, those elephants, they do take a few shots, but the scholars are right there to heal them back up. Villagers now starting to join their sisters and brothers in the graveyard as we see so many of them on the ground. Poor guys. They had a good life.
Oh, Loue got in just as the wall was about to finish. But talking about getting in, this is Louis's entire food economy. No gatehouse here to protect this. And Loue will have to make a stand right here against the elephant army. Now, elephants, they do want to kite back. These Sultan Tower elephants, they can shoot on the move, being big gray Mangudai, and they do so much damage. The bombard from Beasty trying to snipe out the Nest of Bees, but look at that, we have 4 bombards for Loue as well. Mass healing coming out. You can see the glowing elephants going for the zeal. 50% attack speed. And here's the big engagement. Let's see who holds up here. Louis's frontline is just disappearing under those elephants. And does he have enough reinforcements coming? He has them in queue. Can he get them out fast enough? Hand Cannoneers, 25 there for him on the field. And Beasty's army is actually falling.
Beasty's army took quite a big hit, but it's not all together. As our observer is showing us, these elephants are trying to find another spot to attack as well. Hand Cannoneers doing an amazing job with those Nest of Bees just firing down on top of these scholars. I don't know if he's trying to sacrifice those boys, but they just went a little bit deep. Now the Nest of Bees doing some really good work here in controlling this, but now Beasty needs to ask himself, how do I break this? Because this feels quite scary.
Louis is just gonna trade out those palace guards at the front there, going for more scholar kills. And now he's going in again. The hand cannoneers take out those elephants so fast when they target fire with the extra spread from the Nest of Bees, just making that scholar healing that much less effective. And this army is just gone.
And that's the problem. Beasty has reached his power peak with this composition. He decides to switch it up a little bit. We can see those yellow demons running around everywhere, trying to do some damage, but target firing the keep here. Elephants taking a lot of damage. It looks like those Ghazi Raiders will also fall after they take down a few victims. Keep in mind, Louis's eco is a little bit in shambles. He's trying to re-max, but he spent his resources, and Beasty still has a lot in the bank. He's making units that are easy to replace, and those are Ghazis.
Yeah, Loue taking a big victory in the army department, but as you say, his army took his economy took a big hit. 50 villager kills for Beasty now, and there's Gazis everywhere. Where are those Loue walls? We might need them right now to protect the base. And yeah, I don't see. What do we have right now? We have 29 Gazis going for more, and he's adding in some archers. And naturally, we still have the 3 elephants. But Loue has very nice gold control, and Beasty knows it. He needs to get out on the map because his gold is just running dry very, very soon.
Now, that's the thing for Beasty, right? He just gets a little bit of a free unit here and there. Those Gazis are keeping the villagers off. But again, Loue is on 2 TC. He's going to be able to replace them. Beasty needs to do some very death-defying damage, and it doesn't feel like he's gotten that yet.
That one. I mean, sure, this is 1,000 resources per bombard, but as we said, his economy is a little bit in a rough state right now, and pulling 20 villagers to burn some bombards, I don't really know of the reason for that. But if you look at his army count, 48 spears, 44 hand cannons, and 5 bombards, that is a death ball to end this game.
Yeah, and they're going straight for the base. It doesn't feel like they want to slow down at all, but he's got bombards to deal with these big keeps in Beasty's base. Beasty maybe extending a little bit far, getting his own mangonels now. Those mangonels are going to be so important if you're actually trying to defend this. That keep is trying his best at producing units, but it is not long for this world. The man will fall. And
Louis just all in here. He's on 55 economy. He needs to do or die right now, and Beasty needs to realize this, or otherwise he will just be the one to die.
And it looks like Beasty is attacking on the backside. He wants to deny a bit of those resources, even though he knows this is a danger. He probably doesn't feel like this is going to kill me right now, but I can slow down that economy even more. The Gazi rate is going very, very deep. Archers trying their best to fire from the back onto these spearmen, because that is what Loue can afford right now. He cannot replace this army.
Yeah, Beasty realizes we see 3 mangonels already on the field. Those are fully upgraded ones. Oh my god, those nest of bee hits. And the mangonel pops out. Does he get a shot off? He gets a big shot off, but the bombards are right next to it. More mangonels coming in and shooting straight for the siege, but it is clock tower siege. We see them all go down. Louis' army is still going strong, and Beasty's numbers are falling and falling. He might have 1 million resources here to remass, but does he have the time?
The production seems to be under duress here. It looks like Beasty won't be able to get enough units out. As they're coming out, they die so quickly. We see the villagers being pulled from Louis' side as well. Beasty has sacrificed quite a bunch here as well. The archers trying their best at shutting down some of these, but Beasty needs to pull back and then go for a push, because right now, everything that he's making is just dying.
But does Loue know where the landmarks is? It's the real question, because if you look at his army numbers, 82, they started out at 100. He needs to do some damage to the actual win condition here. Otherwise, okay, it is 1, 2, 3, and the Palace of the Sultan should be right behind that. Yeah, they're over on the side. No keeps in range to protect this. We see Beasty just making a little bit of siege, going for Louis' base there at the bottom, because his main issue is right in his base, and he doesn't think he can take that.
Actually, quite surprising. I think it's just because of our production being under siege. As the Delhi here, you have them all forward, just not able to produce enough in time. Now, I think this is where Beasty asks himself, did I let Loue play the game he loves? Did I let him actually sit back, relax, and then do the late game that he's so comfortable doing? And I think the answer is yes, yeah. And
it does feel like that. By the way, do you think Beasty changed a little?
do you mean his facial expression right now?
Yeah, and also the fact that, it looks very Chinese.
It's the light. It's the light.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, the stage lighting is a little bit blue. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, that's 100%. I see Loue and Beasty being switched around. Poor guys. I was quite surprised there. I didn't see the name tags. It's okay. Next time.
It's all good, but look at that. The Chinese economy is just so insane. But what this doesn't show is the fact that how many of those Sultan elephants did we have that we should probably guess at like 1,000 resources per.
There was a lot of them that went down, and the hand cannoneer is showing us that there is actually an answer to these. I feel like the nest of bees just completely controlled that scholar mass. Beasty thought was going to be able to keep those units alive. And the gold control actually showing us why Loue was able to handle that mass for such a while and have such a big siege mass. Guys, the next one though. A map not so close to my heart. A map we haven't seen that much. A map that me and my teammates usually suck on because that is Zivota. We have Nagari. I think one of the first times we see it here. Have we had a Nagari on your time at the desk?
We had a Nagari on my time at the desk, but I can't tell you. 3 times.
Three times.
Never mind. But,
wow.
you know, okay, we should actually go for the draft here, but real quick. I love this map because that's the map where I beat Tim on during the tournament.
And that's the only time you'll ever beat Tim, right?
It's really sad. But hey, if I play more than 5 matches per season, then well,
maybe you'll get another chance.
Maybe we'll get another chance. I'm still in the green as far as our score goes.
That's the only thing that matters. Now,
right. But if you don't play, you can lose.
I would like you to look at that civilization right there.
I see them. I see them.
Hey, Twitch chat. We've seen Japanese on water. We know what Japanese can do. And when they lose, it is a destruction. I am a little worried for Loue here, but I feel like AOBids, they do usually have an answer to this. And we've seen some interesting AOBid plays on water. We've seen some interesting AOBid plays in general. We've seen some faster TCs, the advancement wing just opening it up for a lot of possibilities. So these two ready to go into action. And I don't think Beasty is going to let his opponent try to play that long game again. This might have been a lesson for him, and my prediction is already off. So far, Chris, yours is looking a little bit more possible than mine.
I'm not gonna say I was right because that would be just rude. But let's see what these guys are cooking for us. Quite honestly, I do like the AOBid pick here by Loue with the advancement ring play. That gives you that pretty easy control of the water, frankly speaking. I'm quite interested to see how Beasty is gonna counter that.
Yeah, but we can see...
Oh, Lord. And there's the reason why I don't like this map sometimes. Look at those cliff spawns.
Those cliffs are quite wild. Easy to wall on Beasty's side, though. But also looking at the water, you can see on the other side, those fish are a little bit uneven. I feel like this is a Marine Lord Beasty water spawn in this case. And Loue got the Beasty spawn on his side. Luckily for him, he's not going for water just yet. He's going for the advancement wing at the speed of light. Not going for that early wood shenanigan. Beasty does spot it out. He knows what is coming. And keep in mind, those docks are a little bit cheaper for AOBids, so they are going to get a dock up at a pretty good time. Beasty is still going to be thinking about Feudal, and there's already going to be a military ship out. Fight him.
Yeah, I don't think Beasty will go beyond 3 fishing boats right here. The real question is, can he get a second dock out if Loue already has a warship on there? Because he has to go all the way around if he wants to put it at the top side. And other than that, Loue will try to watch this spot like a hawk. And as Cow points out, there is some close fish spawns next to this dock still. Somewhat reasonably.
Now, when you're putting a dock down here as Loue, you want to ask yourself, okay, can I get a military ship out before the Shinobis arrive? And realistically, yes, he probably could. Beasty is going to be aging up, but he's going to need to age up with a lot of units to get a Shinobi out pretty quickly. But like you said, if Beasty gets a second dock, then that Shinobi it's going to be important to stop the production consistently. And we get a Cocker. So the Cocker Township coming out now. Loue going to queue up that normal arrow ship pretty much instantly, just so that he can try to get back a little bit of that water control that is so important. Beasty getting pop-capped now, really hoping that he builds a house here, so he will be able to get that Shinobi out as time goes on. House has been put down. And the wood feeling a little bit scarce, because we know we're spending everything on water.
Yeah, it's gonna be running out just as you don't want it to go, so he has to put up a lumber camp first, and then he'll only be able to go for that warship that he wants to put out. Or maybe he's gonna go for the naval arrow slits, as Loue just comes from the back trying to body block the fishing boats and trying to get the first one down. Yeah, this is definitely a kill. Good play by Loue there.
And this is something we've seen from a lot of these top pro players. A lot of them are pretty amazing at body blocking when they need to. Now, the Cocker Township is almost finished. Loue has not invested any more on water just yet, but that's just to be seen if he's going to go for another military ship. I wonder what this man is cooking. We've seen 200 wood in the bank now. Oh, the Springald ship gets called. He's like, no, we are taking the water. It will belong to me. And then we'll see what you can get out of your dock.
I feel like this is very reminiscent of how Rus used to play on water before, well, they started to need to mine gold if they don't actually gather food from animals. In the form of you actually only play one dock early on because you just don't have the income to afford a faster one because you're not actually fishing.
Yeah, I can imagine with that change for Rus as well, it does make them a little bit more viable. But I don't think we'll be seeing them much this tournament because they just keep getting banned. We haven't seen them much this tournament. This is the final series, and I don't think Rusa is on the cards, but definitely
Demo
not
let
on
them
water.
through. Kiljardi was playing against him earlier with it.
No way. The man, the legend. But honestly, now with Beasty joining the age up, he's making another shinobi as well. Instead of making a military ship instantly, thinking about that, he's like, I am getting shinobis. And I'm questioning myself.
And
what
there
is
is
the
the
plan?
second dock. It actually went up while Loue wasn't looking, and neither were we. Shinobi's going straight through. Unfortunately for Beasty, Louis' gold is all the way in the back, so he has to go the long way around if he wants to hit that. Woodline would also be a good target, but yeah.
It looks like he's getting his own demolition ship here, and it is going to go straight into the Springald ship. Gets a pretty nice shot.
Here's the issue with that, though. You see, it's not dead, right? And there's no follow-up.
The problem is that guy can go home now, get healed up, and the fishing ship is already saying exactly that. Oh, fishing ship, that's just a galley. The villager is ready to repair. He says, don't you worry, my good old Springald ship. I'm going to keep you safe. And the fishers, they are going to the other side, hoping to get some other thing instead. Now, 3 shinobis on the map, and I would love to say their position. Where are those boys hanging around? Hanging around ships.
They're trying to snipe the villager building the dock there, which would be a great pickup for Beasty. And that also forces Loue to just stay around here at the bottom side as his top dock is getting disabled.
That top dock is getting burnt down, but Loue is trying to grab the control of the bottom side of the water. Now keep in mind, this is a very idle fishing economy for Beasty. He has those 2 shippies just trying to live their best life on the shoreline fish. So no advancement onto the water. He's getting out of this at all. And this feels a little bit tough because do you now focus a little bit more on land? Do you try to control the water because you have that shinobi prowess on the map? Now, Loue, he keeps getting more ships. As I say that, Beastyqt is up another one. And it feels like both of them, they have options. They can either now decide, I'm going to keep doing this, or I'm going to keep going on land. Is this just going to be basically us playing a full water map, and every single move is about the water? The archers, though, they're going to be looking at those shinobis very aggressively.
Yeah, we do have Loue moving in on Beasty's dock now. Fortunately for Beasty, he was managing to save his 2 fishing boats, and he can just repair his hulk and just keep him on a full life so that demo ship cannot just one-shot its second hulk is popping out. As we see some attack pings coming from Louis' base, so the shinobi are also already cooking. And Beasty, he's actually established himself on water now. It's a scary presence, and we have 4 shinobi. So maybe we can get a little bit of an update of what the hell they're doing.
Now, those shinobis look like they're around the gold at the moment, and they are making sure that Loue is kept... Oh, they look like they were around the gold. Those shinobis
good
in and
snipe
out.
there. Stops the sabotage from coming in, and the other shinobi is not paying attention. Oh, well, never mind. I was like, wow, those hulks, they just like to watch, apparently.
Oh, and those camouflage boys are going to be running in. Now, this is not going to alert Loue too soon. He's just going to be minding his own business, and then a villager will be going down. And that's the thing about those shinobis. If you don't keep your eyes on your own colored dots, they quickly take down villagers. And afterwards, they can even blink out, blink back in, get deeper.
Oh, there is no tower here on the gold. There are no units. And if Beasty can get some body blocks, can box them in, he's going immediately for the first. 3 hits, it's down. Second villager only hits 1 time. So he's just fine there. 2 archers going in to clean that up. We have another shinobi coming here for a sabotage attempt. And yeah, Loue needs to pay so much attention here so he doesn't get overwhelmed on the water, because if both of his productions are idle, then Beasty will just run him over.
It felt like Beasty stopped producing on the water there for a little while as he was focusing on the land, trying to get some work done here. You see both of the sides now having one will kill each. The problem is Loue has a much scarier water mass here. And as we can
Shinobis
see,
get on top of the archers there. If you can find the connection, it doesn't matter that you're being countered. But we do see Loue come in. Oh my god, Beasty's clamping up there, and we have 4 demo ships moving in. First connection, second connection, and the third one, and Beasty's water presence is gone.
Loue made that look really simple for himself, and the galleys coming out now trying to deal with those demo ships, but they're already dead. They're already dead, they say. But this last Spring-on ship is trying to keep his presence there. Beasty making another Shinobi. He's just trying to get a little bit back here. That poor Spring-on ship taking a lot of damage, and the villager is nowhere close to be dealing with this. These docks are getting upgraded now, and they are firing back, but Beasty just lost water here.
Yeah, we do see the demo ship coming in now with the Naval Auschwitz already out. I think, yeah, he can just sit under that dock. If something comes out, he can detonate and hit both. If nothing comes out, he can just eventually detonate. You see that the green villager sabotaging the dock. That was nicely played there. But yeah, Loue cannot produce anymore. I don't think it's gonna be enough though. We have 1, 2, 3 hulks. There is no. And as I say that, we have only 2 more hulks.
And that's the problem with water. One moment you're like, oh, okay, I got this. You look away for 1 second, and all of a sudden you're like, hey, oh, where are my ships? And that's exactly what happened here. Now Beasty, we don't know if he's gonna keep going on this, because we can see he's a hungry boy. At the moment, he's getting everywhere. He's trying to get as much as he can onto the map, because there's no water, there's no fish for him to snack on. This man is hungry. He's even getting that wonderful upgrade that makes sure that your hunted meat get in a little bit quicker. And Loue, he's making ships.
Another sabotage coming through. A Shinobi doesn't get punished. We have a demo ship coming in, but Louis on the ball has 2 galleys to defend as well. I don't think Beasty put up another dock. I don't think. Yeah, there's only the one still. It does have naval arrow slits, and Louis just taking pot shots at it, coming back and forth. I think Beasty has completely given up on water. He's just gonna be a pest, just gonna be trying to sabotage, just gonna still have his presence felt there. We see one more. Never mind. He cancels the Hulk. He's gonna go straight for Castle Age here.
Now, this is a pretty interesting move that you can have. You have your situation where you're like, hey, I'm Japanese. I love a good Castle Age. Once I get those mounted samurais, things are going to heat up. But the problem is they're quite expensive, and you need a lot of food for them. Now,
I mean, you see Louis is still producing warships right there. Okay, it's the one demo that he could just use to get this dock down faster. But he has a lot invested into this. And on the land, he's only now going into Lancers, which would be a nice counter to those initial mounted samurais that we're expecting. We still have 5 Shinobis. There's an attack ping. Can we quickly check the wood line from Loue? Yeah, there's some Shinobis just blinking straight in, and there is 6 villager kills for Beasty.
Now, Beasty trying to focus on water and on land at the same time, doing an okay job at that. We see getting another Spring-on ship going down. Floating gate now, the weapon of choice here. And that's going to mean those mounted samurais are going to be floating all the way to Louis' base. Now, Louis' army composition is mainly on water, so he does have a lot of ships there. But the problem is, once he gets full control of that side, it's going to be so hard for Beasty to try and even put a little bit of pressure back onto the water. Louis, though, is going to be able to make fishing ships and take all the food in the world. And he's not far behind in getting Castle himself.
Yeah, I do want to know. He does not have the advancement wing available. I was just going to say, is he going to go for advancement wing? No, he already went for it. So it is going to be possibly reinforcement or growth. Since he lost a few, I'm expecting to see a growth wing here, which will just put up those numbers again. But it is a scary timing for Beasty still. He has a lot of resources saved up. He will have those numbers going strong real fast. Stable is set up. We have an archery range next to it. Is it going to be the mounted SAMs or is it going to be the Unamusha? What do you think?
Both. Both of them. He's going for both because we've been seeing that mobile army composition doing absolute wonders. People have been struggling to keep up with this, especially when your army is all bound together and they're struggling to come out quickly. We can see first, Bannerman coming out first. Now that bad boy is going to be able to cause a little bit of raiding trouble alongside those samurais now. And that's what I think Beasty wants to do. He knows he's playing against an opponent who is not that comfortable fighting in the early game. Now, this is not super early, but it's still not where Loue likes to be. We do see those fishing ships, though.
Look at Louis' boom. He has 4 docks set up. I'm expecting to see a dock at the top side very, very soon. Beasty needs to find an edge here. He needs to find damage in the next few minutes, or he's just going to get overrun. We have the first relic going his way, but Loue, we do see the reinforcement wing coming in, because those Desert Raiders, they're going to be doing great against the Mounted Samurais. Beasty's going to go into Yumi. Love it.
Beasty going for Yumi, definitely not on my bingo card for today. These guys, a little bit of a fun surprise, I would say, but definitely makes sense against this composition from Loue himself. And he now knows that Beasty is a hungry boy out here on the berries, and this is a very dangerous spot.
Oh, Beasty's going for the ram tech. You see that? He's going to go for the docks.
He is going for it, but at the same time, I feel like this could be the moment he starts to raid too. Look at those. They're going way past the docks. It looks like they have something else in mind. Loue, though, migrating all the villagers to the front wood line. So is this just to run away from these mounted samurais? It looks to be the case.
It definitely is. Beasty's trying to find damage at the spots he raided in earlier, but he also sending some to the top side. We see some Loue walls coming up. He has 4 Desert Raiders, but they're currently busy and, well, distracted at the side of his gold. And is that Yuma Bannerman gonna come in and find some damage? Not just yet. And now they made their presence known.
Now, Loue knows what's up. He knows exactly what's cooking, and it doesn't look like Beasty is going to be able to find damage anytime soon. He's going to go for quite a deep dive, but there are camels at the ready.
He even body blocks straight through the entrance there, so Beasty cannot even get in, and he just hit the age up. Castle Age veterancy is coming in for those camels. And where are the Yumi? I don't think they're here just yet. They're building the ram at home, trying to go for that dock in just a little bit.
Now, that's exactly something Beasty loves to do. He loves to ensure that there's pressure on the land, that you have to respond to it, while ensuring that he slowly gains control of the water back. But the thing is, Loue is pretty okay with this. Loue is sitting back, relaxing, getting that water.
Oh, the archer
raiding.
flank there. You saw those archers leaving, not getting spotted by the mounted samurais earlier. And the Beasty's going to be pushed off of the berries. That's going to be very annoying as we see a camel lancer pop out. And Louis also going for crossbows, because Beasty, he needs to flood Louis' base with units. He needs to dive those villagers just so he can keep the economy somewhat even. Horsemen getting on top of there. The villagers put out their shifts, so the archers will just get cleaned up. And we do see a horseman upgrade coming in as well with the veterancy.
Now, with those horsemen, he's able to deal with the archers, but those villagers, they were idle for quite some time. The ships here don't look like they were emotionally ready for a ram to be dealing with them too. But
it feels so sad to shoot a ram with a Hulk, because it does 1 damage.
It one? No.
It does 1.
Oh, 2 damage!
I'll stand corrected. It will do 2 damage. Right.
That is the most underpowered Hulk, or most underpowered weapon against those bad boys.
It's actually better to just make galleys, and still that feels bad. We do see the first Onamusha in queue. Loue needs to pay attention here. He needs to deal with these rams eventually, because he wants to have the docks on both sides, just so his fishing economy stays effective. But if you look at the army numbers, he's up there now. He's fully online in Castle Age with great income.
The problem is, when you're trying to have a very heavy composition against dealing with those camels, they don't do the same against the camel lances. And the camel lances, their numbers are increasing. It's getting kind of scary. He's taking engagements against these camels, and they're not favorable ones. There's a lot of them. The ships are firing back as well. And Beasty wanting to take control of this water, he's struggling. But now finally, Loue does run out of gold in his main base. He does need to move out a little bit more, but the Loue walls are there to support.
Oh, unfortunately for Loue there, all of his docks at the bottom side will get cleaned up. But Beasty, with a little bit of a rallying error there, goes too close to the water, gets shot at by the warships, and he has to retreat at the top side. We do have 20 units already on the field. I don't think Loue is quite aware that they exist. Because, well, he has 7 Lancers, but where are they?
I do see
Guys?
we have a little bit of a pause moment there for a second as these guys are trying to find their direction. And currently, Beasty's economy is on the other side. Loue, though, those walls that he made pretty early on, they're pretty good, but they're not great against Yuumi because if you guys didn't know, those guys shoot range.
Loue has no vision of this, I don't think. These guys will come out of the blue for him. Yeah, no, he has no idea. And oh my god, please don't be open. Please don't be open. Yuumi's just walk up to the wood line, take out 1, take out 2, take out a 3rd one. And the 4th one is just casually walking by. Because why not? We do have a lot of Lancers at home though. So he'll be able to hold this. There's not gonna be a dive. And Beasty's army might be in a very precarious spot very, very soon. As I say that, we see Beasty moving out at the top side again as Loue moves away.
Now the Loue walls doing wonders, and these Yuumis are a little bit out of position if those Lancers decide to attack. But the Horsemen and the Yuumis are fighting against that wall with the Ram joining the fight as well. A tower now coming up for Loue. He's trying to make sure that he does not get raided. And even though Beasty's numbers are looking decent, this is scary for him.
For anyone who always wondered how you boom on water, this is how, by the way.
You just make a lot of ships. He is going to be drowning in that food. We can see Beasty trying to get some towers up. He's a hungry boy, but some of the Camel Lance is getting picked off now. He's going to try to fight down the rest of these docks, and a Ram pays the price.
Beasty not overextended. He actually pulled his entire army mass back there at the bottom side, just left the Ram behind. Really good move because Loue had his entire army at home. He was prepared to take a really good fight for himself with overwhelming numbers, and Beasty is smelling it. The tower?
The tower, he wants that thing to fight back, and it is going to. He's getting a spring ult emplacement for it as well, but there are pings all around the map. It looks like Beasty is attacking, Loue is attacking. Loue probably wants to take this fight because this is very unevenly matched for him. He's got a lot of camels on this side, and he knows Beasty's army is split apart. Beasty knows this as well, so he is going to try to back up, but we do see that wood line getting raided right now.
You know what's really interesting and really scary to me? Beasty is doing all of this on 1 TC. He's just playing full aggression against the full boom. If you look at the economy numbers, Loue is so far ahead, but Beasty's making this look very, very scary for him. He has the bigger army, he finds kills, he finds damage. The Yuumi, they just go in and target the economy. Louis' numbers are also dropping, but at the top side, we have Louis' army slowly overwhelming this. The Yuumi trying to take out the crossbows and the raiders, but they're all gonna fall here.
And this just shows Louis' strength on to the late game. The later this gets, the better it is for him. But Beasty, though, he has something to say about that water. And the Yuumi, they are trying their best, but eventually everything does get cleaned up. Beasty needs to pull back those units.
Loue has one more warship. If he doesn't realize this is going on, he might lose a lot here on the water. Speaking of a lot, though, Beasty's army is very far down. Beasty currently doesn't have the wood income. Just put a little bit more on the wood, actually. To really make a fleet there. He doesn't need a whole lot, though, to kill a lot of fishing boats.
Now, those fishing boats are going to be very much under-supported. But now Loue is the one making rams. He knows where Beasty's economy is. He knows those villages are very far out, desperate for food. And he's going to be able to start making these plays. Loue, though, also going for food elsewhere, might be sniffing that something's up on the water now. Not queuing anything extra just yet, but Beasty had one ship in the queue. We'll see when it pops out and if it is going to be able to do some work. He's probably going to need to invest a little bit more there, but if he overcommits, the landmass can overwhelm him. You can see he's transitioning into a very mobile composition to try and start the kiting, because that's exactly what he needs to get back into this.
Yeah, I do think he has the speed upgrade on his Onimusha as the... No, never mind, they're glowing because of the Bannerman. But we have the first Hulk out for Beasty. Second Hulk is queued. If Loue micros this correctly, he can out-repair the damage of the Hulk on his fishing boats. But it's gonna be a lot of micro required. Loue, is he gonna react on the water? Right now, he cannot. He doesn't have the wood. And there's a first demo on the way. He does have a galley already. Beasty's army is moving in at the top side though, and if he doesn't pay attention, there's a lot of camels at home.
Now, the camels can be quite devastating once they get inside, but Beasty looks like he is trying to overwhelm him. Overwhelm on the water, overwhelm on the land. Just look at them cleaning up those camels. The thing is, just like Beasty, Loue also needs to move out in base, especially when this fishing eco is shut down, and it looks to be soon.
Ooh, that's a lot of damage that Beasty's dealing. That's really unfortunate. And Loue would love to go into horsemen to counter those Onamusha, but he cannot because he needs all of the wood to fight on the water.
Now, with all that wood that he requires, he has reallocated some villages there, but keeping in mind that villages on wood are a little bit more susceptible to raiding.
There's the mass repair, but look at that demo ship. 2 demo ships coming in. He needs to split those fishing boats, and he manages to do so. Fishing boats do not go down, but the Hulk does indeed. Beasty's making this look very good right now, and his land army, though, dropping very fast. Only 6 Onamusha left. There is 16 Lancers and 16 Raiders on the field.
Now, he feels that hurt because you can see he's instantly going to Spearman. He knows he's struggling on food. He knows he cannot keep fighting this. And it does look like he's shut down the water economy, but Loue is still ahead, and camels are so dangerous to deal with.
He doesn't have any fishing and he doesn't have any food anymore because the bottom side has been cleaned up. Where does he get his food? There is one more deer pack just behind the cliff, but he cannot go for it because it's so far away. Never mind, he has the dock next to it. He could use that, but it is very, very dangerous. The berries have been denied. Beasty's gonna deny all of the fishing, so is Loue just gonna abandon the water? It looks like he does, because he has such an overwhelming presence on the land now.
Now, this is usually where people decide, okay, I'm just going to go into a second TC, I'm going to keep this land pressure up. I do have an advantage with all the food I've gathered. I've traded pretty well, and Loue knows this.
Just diving in right under the main town center. Beasty made a lot of spears at this point, 8 of them, but I say a lot. There's 14 Lancers and 22 Raiders.
Now, this problem is Loue isn't investing on water, while Beasty doesn't know that. Beasty doesn't realize, hey, this guy is not making anything on water. He's just focused on one side, and that's under your TC. Now, this is a Japanese TC. Those things shoots pretty hard. So it's not going to be too tough for Beasty to keep these back, but when the rest of these camels join forces, it's going to get tough, and the wood line is exposed.
Catastrophe's raid right there, unless, you know, Loue just stops and not... Please tell me he didn't crash.
No,
never mind, he's still microing. It's all good, it's all good. He comes in, Beasty going for the Shogunate Castle, so if Loue sticks around here, he's gonna be starting to bleed units from that rocket, but that is a lot of villagers on the run for Beasty. He does have a lot of wood saved, so if he wins the water decisively, he can start fishing, already doing so, and Loue already cleaned up the bottom side docks.
Now, within Loue cleaning those up, Beasty knows he's going to need to find a different angle, gets the different angle, only has one singular dock, so this transition is going to take about 650 years, but the villagers are in position to go in those sneaky little berries as well. Very nice.
Yeah, he will just try to get those docks up immediately, spend more wood, and then maybe take the berries if he really, really can. Fighting on that Shogunate Castle is so costly, and we see Beasty put a Yorishiro in there so he can get those eco numbers out a little bit faster. But he's looking in very rough shape, and Loue, he can click up to Imperial right now.
And it looks like Loue will be doing that because that is the right amount of resources. He clicks on Imperial. Let's see, what is the wing he serves us? Oh, he's getting... What are those things called?
The other bags?
Other bags, yes. I almost called them dervishes. Wrong unit, Twitch chat. Those things go into military buildings and
the other
make them
camels.
fight here. Yeah, they're the other camels.
They no longer cost population. It's beautiful. I don't know why they ever did, but thank you for that change.
Thank you, devs. Always listening to the community. But Beasty, though, he's going to see this age up, and he's probably going to ask himself, am I going to survive? Do I have the ability to defend against this and then push back? Now, Loue did lose a lot in water, but Beasty's eco numbers aren't looking great. They're pretty even as far as these go, but because Loue was in water for so long, he had the ability to get so many resources. The problem is, that food is not infinite. I would love to see the farming situation there for Mr. Loue, and if he has some ulterior options in his base. Do we have farms? We have farms, ladies and gentlemen. The man is not going to go hungry and is going to keep making camels. And I want you guys to notice, he is getting a specific type of camel.
He's getting only raiders right now. Absolutely no lancers. Okay, I say that, but he still has 3 left. But mass raiders, if they just go into their range form, 20 spears will just disappear in a moment.
Now, with those guys, if they do go under the TC, though, they're not going to have a good time. And they don't have a great time against galleys either. So, all things considered, Beasty should be able to fight this. But there's a lot of villagers coming to build that dock. And a dock takes a lot of hits to take down. So, as Loue is about to age up, Loue will get that dock down, and he's probably going to make one of those spicy ships that deal with everything in their power.
You see what Beasty is going for, though? He started to go into Samurai, and just the mass raiders, they will do so well against those guys. I mean, with the added spears, it's scary because you have to snipe them out, but these guys have so much melee armor, they will just stand and fight Samurai. They are great against men-at-arms.
Now look at this. Loue just wants to go on land. He knows.
Sebek is in queue. We get a spicy ship there from Loue coming in from the newly built dock. If Beasty cannot disable it or take it out first.
Now that is going to be a ship that is so hard to handle. Halfway done already. These camels just looking at taking down everything in their power. But the spearmen are at the ready. And if they don't react quickly, they're going to go down too. They do go into range form, which means they don't do that much damage to the tower now. But the ship is about to come out. And as Cow is showing us, it is going to be a destruction. But they're just getting into the towers as quickly as they can. They do get reinforced. Spearmen are a little bit scared to get under these ranged boys. The ship is out, but it's taking quite a bit of damage.
Imperial upgrade for the camels is through now, but it's not the greatest engagement for Loue. Beasty's numbers looking great. He has 32 spears still going, and even the Imperial ship does not seem to be holding up. It takes out the first one, even outnumbered 1-4, but even with the dock healing that it gets passively there, it is not able to take this fight alone.
And it feels like Loue may have attacked just a little bit too early. Beasty now having doubled the military supply. Keeping in mind, some of these are in ships. He's getting a pretty sizable army here. Loue building some keeps forward. My favorite thing. I'm so glad we got to see that today. Loue doing the slow keep. He's going to keep on keeping closer to the base with these camels having a safe place to retreat to.
Yeah, we do see the keep going up there at the bottom. We have one sacred site for Loue, and Beasty is just water booming heavily, as we've seen Loue do just a few minutes earlier. I kind of was expecting Loue to actually make this work, the push back on the water. But next engagement here, Beasty is trying to get to Imperial as well, trying to soak up all of the resources, trying to soak up all of the gold before Loue can deny it from him. We're fighting under triple tower into counter units, but these are Imperial units, and we'll see if they can make that difference.
Now the problem with these Imperial units is they're very susceptible to ranged attacks. Even though they all have Imperial upgrades, they're still taking a lot of damage from these towers. So these towers being reinforced, ready to fight. The spearmen do go and get into range now. Some of those are samurais, not just spears. They do take a few extra hits. The bannerman does go down, but these are kiting beautifully, just not beautifully enough.
Yeah, Loue still going for the pure Raider com, and Beasty is very good at defending that right now. And as far as gold goes, Loue is pretty happy with what he's doing right now because, hey, he's not getting gold, right? Oh, never mind. There's a small gold behind it that Beasty is currently mining out. He has 3,000 ready to go for his Imperial upgrades. Tanegashima Gunsmith is going up, and those Loue walls trying to stop Beasty from closing off the top side, they are not long enough. Beasty's just gonna put one behind it, and Beasty now looking to be back in control of this game. But Loue just couldn't make the death push work.
You can see Loue, he wants to push, but he just doesn't know where. It feels like that is so many towers that he has to fight against. These guys are taking so much damage when they're just standing under it. It does take about 5 shots to take one of those down, but because they are in their ranged form against those spearmen, they do struggle doing a bit of damage to those towers. Now, Beasty aging up, and let's see what he instantly gets from that gunsmith. He's got the tickets. Does he choose a military unit yet? Now, as we are shown, the Atabeks are sitting there inside the stables. That means these camels coming out of them are going to be a little bit stronger than the usual ones. He's got 46 of them as well. And now, while 46 is a pretty scary number, we have talked about the fact they are quite squishy. Now with 20% health, a lot less squishy. And keeping in mind, Japanese is not a civilization with normal keeps. The TC only fires one rocket at a time, so it does make it a little bit easier for those guys in numbers to survive. But Loue knows that he's on a timer here. Beasty has
There's your
full
decision.
control.
We get an immediate 3 in queue right there. The Japanese special unit is on the way with those ranged attacks with the heavy siege component. And I'm not quite sure, but I do think that one of the upgrades that Beastyqt instantly was the Yumi Elite upgrade. Am I mistaken?
I wish I could tell you, but I would tell you that now we have Bannerman, we have a selection of the boys. We actually have units that deal with any form of these camels. If he decides to go for melee, Beasty's got the units for it. He can just position himself in a pretty good spot. But at the same time, if they go, it doesn't matter. Whatever mode they decide to go for, Beasty's got the unit for it. And he's got a lot of food to replace it with. The problem is he doesn't have a lot of anything else to deal with. But 1,000 stone with him, he needs to secure a gold pretty soon.
We're still going for Mars Raiders now. If that Golden Age counter is correct, we still don't have the extra bonus attack speed for all of those camels, which would make them so much more potent. Now then I would understand why Loue is going for this. And he's even using only the range form right now, which means he has to wait for those fire arrows to actually deal some really good damage. There it is. Now these guys should pack a whole lot more punch. Ram in the front to soak up a little bit of the fire that those camels would be taking. I'm still not sold on the pure raider composition into these counter units.
Now the problem is for Loue, he doesn't have anything that can deal with this. Those camels could just make siege. And
did you see that poor raiding force from Beasty just getting wiped out by the keep? And it does have a bombard emplacement shooting at those dogs. If Loue can actually take that out there, yeah, he's shooting the enemy dog. He has his own ready to go, and now he's going for the bottom side again. This is all about if Loue can get back on the water, then Beasty is in for a world of hurt. But if you look at Beasty's resources, he's already stacking up on the food. He has some farms prepared, so he wouldn't immediately be out. And he knows exactly what he's fighting. There's 50 Desert Raiders.
now this is the issue for Loue. Beasty is in a position now where he's slowly transitioning into more and more farms. He's handling it quite well, and he is going to want to transition away from fishing eventually. Problem is, not just yet, but for now, he needs to get other resources. He's got 2,000 stone in the bank. He can pop down a keep anywhere and try to control a gold properly. Loue now, he's got those naval arrow slits getting on all the docks, using all the stone that he has, but Beasty still has 2,400 stone and he's not using it.
How are we looking here? We've got 15 spears frontline and 13 samurai. And behind that, the Yumi, they do move faster than other infantry. And 17 of them already set up. We do get the other range defense as he's only using the range form of his Desert Raiders.
Now those guys are going to be able to kite if he puts his attention fully on them, but he does get distracted, most likely on water, and that's the problem with these games. There's just so much action, but now they're ready to fight. They see the keep coming up, and some pretty good focus fire. And some villagers will be in danger, but the keep will definitely make it up today.
I'm still wondering, what is Louis' play here? What is his winning condition? Because this is just keeping on to be a stalemate. He just lures Beasty out, and then Beasty just pulls back. And he still has gold control, he still has gold access, he still controls most of the water. How does Loue think to do damage here?
Yeah, the problem for Loue is he needs to break through Japan. And we know Japan is a civilization that loves to sit back and get their free units as well. So now Loue getting 2 more of those very, very spicy military ships that are going to be floating right towards Beasty's eco. But we know Beasty has a lot of food in the bank. He probably doesn't mind using this pretty soon and just focusing back onto the farms. The problem is he doesn't have the wood for that just yet.
Yeah, we see Loue now going for the bottom docks again. Galleys have been pulled over to shoot at these docks again, but naval arrow slits have been set up. The 2 Xebec just popped out, so that's a lot of military population on the water. Both players not yet pop-capped, but that will soon be an issue for both of them. These Xebec, they should be able to just clean up as there's only 1 galley and 2 hulks left.
With those ships on the water, Loue is going to easily get control back there, but I don't think Loue is in a position where he wants to get fishing eco himself. He's got his farm set up, he's got the sacred sites ticking, and even though it doesn't look that scary right now, those bombard emplacements have been doing really well against Beasty. Beasty finally getting some Imperial upgrades ranged coming into. He is hoping to do some damage and take them down. So, melee damage as well. Yakirere. I've never said that word in my life. Yakirere. Yakirere.
Sounds good.
There we go. I just need to put an accent on it. Now, Beasty does have a lot of resources in the bank, but it doesn't look like it's the resources he wants because he is floating them a little bit and not getting pop-capped just yet.
Oh, we do see Loue getting the adjustable crossbars queued up right now and immediately queues a mangonel behind it as he goes up to 63 raiders. But he also starts to produce some horsemen with the elite upgrade queued right now. And he does find a connection on some villagers here. Yumis are already there to protect, and there's going to be more on the way. What is Beasty's plan to break out of this hold that Loue has him in?
Well, there's something straightforward, and it is dealing with those TCs at the bottom. You want to deny, or TCs, the keeps, because you want to deny that gold that Loue has been snacking on for free, and you need to get some yourself. We can see Beasty is not reaching that pop cap. He's close there. He's trying to get those nice little bazooka boys to deal with the keeps all around.
Speaking of the bazooka boys, though, can I put your mind back to that upgrade we saw earlier from Beasty? That extra siege damage for the infantry. And, well, the bazooka boys, they do have one nice little bonus there. They do a lot of damage to landmarks as well, to just about any building in general. So, if Beasty's just gonna go for a huge push here and going for a landmark snipe, this might be very, very, very scary.
Yeah, considering those actually do pretty well against units as well. Let's look at a keep. I want to see the keep fall as well, but the army, it is falling in all different directions. They're trying to fight a lot of camel fire, but the camel fire just doesn't seem to be enough. The mangonel shot can change things around. It gets a decent shot, but it's not enough to win this
Keeps already
fight.
disappeared. The mangonel is hidden behind the raiders there. Can Beasty get to it? Does he even realize it's there? I'm sure he does. We do see some melee forms finally, as there is no more frontline for these hand cannoneers, for these Yumi, for these Ozutsu. Beasty trying to get a keep up to get some gold control back, but at the bottom we see Louis' villagers also moving. I don't know where they're headed, but they're very, very brave. We do have more mangonels moving forward. Beasty spotted them out, pulling his own villagers, but more mangoes are already here. Oh my god, that's going to be a big shot. No!
And he's sacrificing so many of them that keep trying to fire back. Beasty's sacrificing so many vills to try and end the siege. The rockets shooting back. But this was a lot of sacrifice from Beasty.
He's on 57 economy right now, and he has lower army numbers than Loue. I think this was meant to be a push towards the landmarks, or at least secure this gold without too many losses. Well, no such luck.
It feels like Beasty has sacrificed so much in this, and Loue is thinking about setting up trade himself now. The thing is, Beasty might be aware of this soon. It doesn't look like he's just going to sit back and relax and try to see what he can do about this. He does send some units there, but Loue walls slowly starting up, coming up between those trees, as we can see, and these guys are pushing back. Now keep in mind, Beasty lost a lot of expensive units, but a lot of those were free as well. The horsemen, though, they're going to be dealing pretty well with what Beasty has on offer, because we know Japanese keeps are not a favorite among the pros.
Yeah, we have 20 horsemen, 35 camels on the field, and there's only 11 spears. There is no front line for Beasty right now. Loue could just realize this and move straight into melee form, go straight for the kill on all of those units. Bombard moving forward to take out those mangoes, but it's just not enough. The horsemen are already on it, and we still have those camels on range, just taking out unit after unit. The keep is falling. Beasty trying to mass repair, but we do see it's down to 49 eco now, still falling. Army numbers are still pretty equal, but they're not gonna stay there even with Beasty's bank.
It looks like Beasty is trying to pull the boys to kill anything he can, but the sacrifice he made earlier may have just cost him the game completely. Now,
Yeah, you see it in his face right now. He's like, well, that didn't work.
yeah, and unfortunately, that's just a problem here with the Japanese keeps as well. They fire that one shot, and it doesn't deal with a lot of these units. And it looks like Loue gets 2-0 now. The pressure definitely feeling a little bit heavier for Beasty. Loue making sure that Beasty plays his game, the late game.
And it turns out to work every time. Beautiful play by Beasty to get back on the water. I thought it was already over at that point. But yeah, then he just makes the play to get it back. And Loue just turns it around on him with just mass raiders.
Now, we haven't been able to see Loue in a land setting. We haven't been able to see Loue on low ping. And this honestly feels like the most amazing showing of Loue to come and break out at his first live event.
Do you think people are just slow to dodge mangonel shots now because they expect them to just arrive later?
Yeah, basically. I think people are just saying like, hey, maybe this guy plays passively because of the ping he's been dealt with the whole time. Now keep in mind, when people play against Loue, all of them are on high ping. But now, Loue gets to show the micro god he is alongside this, dealing with water, dealing with anything around him. And ladies, for the next map, we have unknown map with unknown civilizations on each side. I hope you guys are excited. Ladies and gentlemen, Roos did not get banned. Are you guys ready?
Roos went through, love it, because as Valdemar was very fond of saying, and I do actually agree with him here, if you want to let one of those top civilizations through, put them in a situation where they're not as obnoxiously strong. And I do think on Gorge against the Ottomans, this could actually work out. Or do you think this is a Loue throwaway pick? Because I don't think so. I think Ottoman has a shot here.
I actually heard a little bit about the cooking with Ottomans. A lot of people feel that the Ottomans is not as weak as people have talked about for a while.
Ottoman is amazing in late game.
Yeah, we just haven't seen them a lot in the late game. And Rus is very notorious for not letting people get to the late game. Now, I don't think it's surprising for Loue to want to get a very strong pick out of the way. Gorge is a map that's infamous for having Rus as the decided pick. Now, if this is a throwaway for Loue, this is probably the best way he could have done it, because Ottoman still has a chance of denying those professional scouts because they do get the free spearmen. But what's really, really nice about Ottomans is those Sipahi, they are going to deal very well with the horse archers.
Yeah, you get the free siege, you get the Sipahi, you get the Janissaries. All of those horse archers do not like, though. Against the Janissaries, they do trade out somewhat evenly, but you still don't want to. You still don't want to, because those ranged spears, they kind of hurt.
They do, but they are also free, so even if they do get bamboozled, carried around a little bit more, Loue can sit back, relax, and make units of his own at a normal rate, while Beasty is firmly focused on getting those pro scouts going. Now, we will definitely just be seeing normal standard Rus shenanigans, but what I want to point out here is that Loue got a very healthy portion of sheep here, already killing the deer himself.
Hate this for Loue. He did open with the military school firmly, is expecting to be able to push in those deer at the top side into his base, just so denying them for the pro scouts. But Beasty's having none of it, immediately moving there and just taking all of them down.
Now, that is a very big point that I think a lot of people don't know about. With those spearmen, they are extra good at making deer go right back to your base because they make them run a little bit further when they start pushing them. So this getting denied is such a massive move for Beasty because he's going to be able to yoink at least one or two of them without being able to get punished. But now the Sultani Trade Network is the upgrade of all, the age up of choice. And this is quite interesting because a lot of people go for the safe food. But in the current Pro Scouts meta, a little bit of gold would not hurt.
Yeah, I do like the Sultani Trade Network. Now, usually you'd say, if you go for the Bill Landmark, if you go for the Twin Minaret Madrasa, you're more likely to fight in Feudal just for that extra staying power with the extra food. But with the Sultan Hani, you're kind of more focused on the upgrades, more focused on potentially going for a fast castle. And, you know, since Roos will very likely also be focused on a fast castle, as we see Loue pay Beasty back in the same coin that he just received, just stopping that deer from being pushed in, just taking them all out with the spear. He only has the one spear, so it's going to take a quick moment there. But yeah, he's having none of that. But yeah, I'm expecting Loue to follow suit and try to go for a very fast castle here, as he only makes as many units as he needs to contest pro scouts.
Yeah, we can see with the amount of villagers that he has on wood, he's not really in a rush to get any production buildings out. He is just going to make sure that he gets castle. At the same time, yes?
You know what I'm scared of if I look at Louis' resources?
Yes? Pro Scouts?
Well, you know how much Pro Scouts costs.
No, we are not getting an Ottoman Pro Scout.
Does he have a mill?
No, Louis. We would not know.
He does not have a mill. He's a good person.
He's a man of honor. This man would not pull a Pro Scout on the rest of us. Twitch chat, stay calm. We're okay. We're not getting Ottoman Pro Scout. This is not the meta you've been asking for, but he's getting a stable though. And this makes a lot of sense. You want to be getting a stable so that you're able to produce the units you need to handle them horse archers when they do pop out.
Yeah, immediately going for the Sipai. We see Beasty producing an archer because he's already setting up, of course, with the archery range for Castle Age, when he's definitely going into some horse archers to apply some pressure, to get some map control, to grab some relics, secure him for himself. But Sipai, great choice into that, and with the extra stable, Sipai are quite pricey. He cannot afford one right now. Out of the, there it is, coming right out. But as soon as those guys pop out, he will have a good time snacking on some Maroon scouts.
No, I absolutely love how your caster curse prevails. And honestly, so far, my caster curse has prevailed. I predicted a 4-0, and we're heading towards the other direction of the 4-0.
Look, I predicted that Louis is going to win, so he's definitely going to lose. Like,
oh, that's true. That's true. So don't worry. We're still on it. Now, basically now, bringing those beautiful deer carcasses back home, the archers ensuring that they do not get punished for it. But the Sipahis have something to say about that, and Louis seems to have gone for the Vizier point with some healing. So when those Sipahis do take a little bit of damage, they will have a safe place to come home. But not only that, he's going to be able to position them right on top of the relics for the moment he ages up. And Rus is so dependent on getting those out so early on.
Look at Louis' resources right now. Now, I don't know how many of the sheep he secured for himself against Beasty's triple scout opening that he played. Can't be that many, and he did not go for Anatolian Hills, so Louis will be forced to go on outside food resources fairly quickly here. But if you look at his resources right now, he's heading straight for that Castle Age with one stable, one military school. We've seen that one before, and it looked very strong indeed. But he's right now trying to contest those Pro Scouts. The other deer pack is all the way in the corner. I don't see dots moving from Beasty towards Louis' deer pack just yet. And looks like Louis is going to be able to just put a stop on it right there. But if you look at Beasty's resources, he's already up to 800 food. And he has tickets in his Golden Gate. So he'll just be able to sell a little bit of wood and follow that Mehmet Imperial Armory that we see going up right about now.
Now, seeing another civilization age up before the Rus, it feels pretty insane considering that he made units as well. So we now see the tickets in the moment as it's getting fixed right on top of it. Guys, this is brought to you by Rising Empires. They give you the best overlays at the last part of possible second as well, making sure that we get them for the tournament in the finals. Beautiful. Showing us exactly what those tickets are spent on.
Cow live production is by now our trademark, I do believe. But High Trade House is going up in the back of the roost base. Going to be quite nicely placed, nicely positioned for a little bit of an extra income. And Beasty is setting up. He only has one archery range. I do think there's a second one at the top side. Louisville already up, and do we hear some relics? Yes, we hear some relics being picked up. There's 2 on the way for Loue already, and Beasty has 2 archers to his name. I don't think he's gonna find those guys.
Yeah, when you have 2 archers to your name, you feel the pressure already, because you know that this is going to be quite hard to handle. Those were simply made to deal with the spearmen. They are not made to deal with anything else that may be coming your way. We now see that first free mangonel in production, and this is going to be hard to handle when your units are not existing just yet. High Trade House almost done. Now, it is in a pretty good position. He's going to have that unlimited food source, but it is not a lot of food. So those deer that do pop out, they're going to be pretty safe. And the first horse archer is going to be joining the fight.
Look at that beautiful Ottoman base. Still only 1 military school, but with the Mehmet Imperial... Oh yeah, now that you mention it, nicely placed berries right there. You'd wish there was a mill landmark on it, but I think Louis is quite happy with his choice. He's gonna eat those berries out, has the safe food in his base still. It's ready to go. We see the first warrior monk coming out for Beasty, and we already see the horse archers entering the field.
Now, with those horse archers, he should be able to deny a 3rd relic, and he still has 3 scouts. And we know 3 freaking scouts, they will be able to get some bounty back to the base, and the archers support them in that. But the Sabahis, they might have something to say about that. Horse archers, they don't do that well against Sabahis, because just like horsemen, they are a little bit faster.
Yeah, and if you can get that connection and there's no front line nearby for Beasty, then Louis can just hit the fortitude on the Ottoman Sipahi, and then they'll be doing so much more damage with 50% increased attack speed. But yeah, for now, Louis still interested in denying those pro scouts, finds them at the top side there as he grabs another relic for himself.
Now, he does suicide these archers, and I'm assuming for a very different reason from me.
He found a villager kill. It's the first one of the game. These archers have paid their price back already.
Beautiful. And this is why these 2 players are in the finals and the rest of us at home are not. Just making these 5-head plays before anyone else can even think about them. Amazingly, denying that extra relic for Louis, and Louis already securing a bit. He's put them in his base quite safely, but the mangonel is also out, and those horse archers need to be careful, because if he starts picking those off, they are quite tough to mass up again. We already have 12 here, so they are going to be quite annoying, but Louis is trying to play the safe by getting a few towers. Now, they do one-tap villagers in those numbers, so he does need to be careful. But keeping in mind, he does have that Sultani trade network that gives him that extra few villager boost, and does give him those passive resources that we don't often see from Ottomans.
Louis is quite happy with how this game is currently playing out. He secured himself 3 relics. There's still 1 more on the way for him somewhere. And Beasty grabbing another 2. Now 18 horse archers have entered the field. Louis will have to play very defensively, very smart about this with his positioning, because he really wants to fight on that mangonel, and he really needs to pay attention that he doesn't get into fights like this with his villagers exposed right next to it, which Beasty will now shamelessly abuse. Takes out 1. He does not want the connection on the Janissaries, but if he realizes there's only a few, but the mangonel arrives in time, all safe for him.
Now, the villager does go down in all of this, but it does become a little bit harder for Beasty, because now you have to ask yourself, how am I going to handle Janissaries in big numbers? Because they're just going to make quick work of those horse archers, trying to pounce around and fight them villagers. Now, they are not known for their head-to-head combat, so he's most likely just going to try to get these out.
Nice find by Louis here. He gets the connection with the Sipahi. As you said, these guys are faster than the horse archers. They're just going to catch up. And at the front side, with the mangonel, with the Janissaries, he just catches all of the horse archers. Trying to capitalize on that little distraction he created. Trying to come in from the bottom with more horse archers. And he's also taking control of the map with the sacred sites. But it's just... still no real damage found on Louis, and Louis preparing for more military schools.
And that is now the hard part about playing against Ottomans. Once you get to this point, Ottoman just gets their free units, and it keeps ticking, and it keeps ticking, and it gets harder and harder.
Onto the wood line, but they realize, hey, wait, there is about 8 Janissaries waiting for me.
And those numbers don't lie. They are just so hard to handle, especially when you are just there with a handful of horse archers. These guys are not going to face Janissaries very well. They are going to get taken down pretty quickly. And even though, yes, they are cheaper, these Janissaries are going to start being free pretty soon.
The thing about the Ottomans is, against other civilizations, this Rus horse archer and man-at-arms combination is just working so beautifully, because people will go into archers and then the men-at-arms are like, hi. But Janissaries, they still do pack a decent punch against the men-at-arms, and the Sipahi as well are just, well, better horsemen with increased range. We do see the Boyar's Fortitude come in now. That's gonna make those horse archers just that much more tanky, because they really start out with very low HP. And yeah, men-at-arms are revealed. The Sipahi makes it out alive, not even nervous, not for a second. Loue going for some scouting information. He sees all of the barracks set up, and he knows what's up right now. Beasty trying for a double-pronged attack again, and he's diving straight under the double towers with his horse archers, just trying to find some villagers, and he's going to fight at least one. Second one, he knows where it is. That's Sipahi from earlier trying to help, but he just can't do it with those health numbers. And now we're inside the woodline. This could be really bad for Loue. Some crossbows have come out to defend this. Crossbows being prepared for the man-at-arms. But yeah, Beasty pulling back, does not want to risk his entire army here.
Now, this is the difficult issue for you as Ottomans as well, because now you're going to start getting raided, right? And those horse archers, they are quite hard to handle if your army is split. He doesn't have more Janissaries. There's only 6 of them. Those are not the numbers you want in this scenario. And slowly, the control comes into the hands of Beasty. He's getting the Sacred Side Timers. He wants to get those passive resources. He gets them from the hunting cabins as well. But Loue is now going to start playing against that 2 TC Rus that most people hate to face. Because with those tickets that he has, you can easily get into that second TC without even thinking about it. And your villagers are just going to get more and more and more. So as long as Beasty keeps picking off your villagers, he is going to ahead. Now, getting those towers around the map, a very important placement of this, just to make sure he knows where the army is moving, especially with him not believing in walls.
I mean, you said it yourself. Loue is known to be a very defensive player, and he did not show that in this tournament so far. He's just going full YOLO at this game. He's just sitting in his base. His food is slowly going lower and lower. His deer have partly been pro-scouted away. It is looking a little bit scary, and Beasty is just gonna put on a whole lot of walls up. They kind of switched sides now.
Yeah, it looks like Beasty heard me loud and clear, me calling him out for not having any walls. He's like, actually, Whammon, let me show you what I can do. And he puts down them walls. He's ready to wall up the whole map, ensuring that Loue does not get to run around.
No, those villagers do not see what's coming right here. Beasty has a scout with him. That's 1, that's 2, that's probably 3. But thankfully, Janissaries are not far off.
Now, this is a tough situation, because you know with those horse archers, you have the opportunity to get a lot more by just attacking the ones at the back. Now, Beasty wanting to play it safe, not sacrificing any of those horse archers just yet. He knows there might be fights coming and he needs to be ready for it. Sipahi's very mobile, getting on top of these, getting on top of villages as well,
Nice,
and these
right
are
there
a
at the
massive
top.
pickup. And you could see this in Beasty's face. He knows that this is quite a tough position to play against. Villagers being attacked from the front, from the back. He's trying to get those walls up, but the Janissaries are making
that's a bad connection. Beasty not paying attention right there. He's gonna get punished in the middle, losing quite a few units here. But he does have the sprinkled setup, and more Sipahis in the back. Did I say Loue is playing defensive in this game? He used to, until like 2 minutes ago, and then I cursed it.
I feel like Loue has read his opponents this tournament perfectly. He's been seeing, okay, this is what you've been doing, this is what I've been doing. What are you not going to expect? And Beasty probably did not expect to see this much of an aggressive man in the form of Loue. This man is all around the map. He's pushing now. Again, those are free mangonels. Those things do not tickle. And Beasty doesn't have the types of units that can handle those.
Beasty has 24 men-at-arms at this point in time, but we have 12 crossbows, 15 Janissaries. That's a scary number. He can't really push into that. 31 horse archers can deal with the backline, however, if the mangonels are not true on their shots. We have only 9 Sipahi left, but he used them quite well. It's already up to 7 villager kills. It is, however, a scary army ball for Beasty.
This is a very scary ball for Beasty, but it can easily be dealt with a few mangonel shots. And we see Loue now going for those spring ults to handle the men-at-arms in the front lines as well.
God, I'm scared. It's all about the mangonels, and look where he's putting them. Those are very exposed mangonels.
But they feel confident with the boys at the back. Villagers here also making a tower of their own. The tower does tickle those mangonels, but they do not mind a good little tickle. Villager there to repair the man as well. He puts the man in mangonel. The boy is being hurt, but he doesn't mind taking a little bit. Loue, though, that army is scary. If we look at the army value as well, it is very, very close. And I don't know if you know this, Askeladd, but horse archers, they don't do too well in face-to-face combat.
I mean, they do decently well if you don't hit them in their face. Speaking of, there's some horse archers in the back hitting villagers in the face. That is their most favorite profession. And we have Beasty pulling in right as that raid comes in, just trying to distract more, just trying to find a good angle on those mangoes. Doesn't get to it though. But Loue needs to pay attention here. I don't think this army is controlled right now. Mangoes need to pull back. Units need to pull back. But we're still in that choke position. I kind of would love to see Loue actually getting flanked here when Beasty deletes the walls at the top and just comes in through that. But Horse Archer is still going strong in the woodline. We have 3 more villager kills picked up by him, and those farms are idle for Loue for a second.
Now, those farms being idle is very important for Beasty because he needs to slow down this production from the Ottomans. It's free. Then, paired with the extra paid ones, I say that, and look at how much resources Beasty just spent. He clicked up everything. He's like, I'm going for a fight. 5 minutes on the sacred sites. And even though this is probably not his planned win condition, considering all of his raiding, it does cause a little bit of that income that he needs. We see 0 villages on gold, and he's currently drowning in it. Now trying to kill that Sipahi on top of his sacred site, he says, get off! And tries to cancel them in the process.
Loue swapped his MIA to Springles now, by the way. These come out very, very fast. And with 35 men-at-arms and 26 spears, this is a great choice for Loue. 27 horse archers are still the deciding factor, though, I think, because... Oh no, never mind. Beasty's going into his own mangonels now. So it is going to be a full siege off. We've got 4 for Loue. We've got 2 for Beasty in just a second. Loue needs to be very careful here, but the sacred side timer has been stopped by him. So no more sacred victory condition. We have 2,000 gold in Beasty's bank. Is he gonna go for an Imperial as Loue knocks on his door? No, I think he's just weighing his options right now. If Loue pushes in, he can spend all of his resources as he does right now and try to catch him out.
This feels like a fight that Beasty has to win and has to take properly. The Janissaries are doing their best. Horse archers dodging those mangonel shots perfectly. They are target firing the spring ults.
Oh, Louis' army is very clever, but that first shot from Beasty's mangoes, I don't think they were meant to shoot at those Sipahi, and the Sipahi actually get on top of the siege. The men-at-arm are right in front of Louis' siege, however, and the spring ults have not all arrived or have been taken out. Beasty's army numbers are just too big for Louis to deal with right now. No siege for him. Mangoes are still up. It is still scary. We do see him trading fairly nicely now with the Janissary numbers staying somewhat strong. I think this is just going to be pretty mutual destruction. Beasty cannot run over Loue all the way, but Beasty can also not get pushed back.
The problem is Beasty is able to replace this army while Loue is running quite low. He needs time to replace this, and Beasty now a lot of gold in the bank. He is going to be able to do this, but he needs to be careful.
Those are double Springald towers though. Beasty doesn't want to be here.
Now, when you expose yourself this much, those mangonels are just going to be taken down in a fell swoop, and that's exactly what happens here. The horses run right past and clean them up themselves. Now, Beasty losing quite a bit, but he's far ahead economically. 25 villages, and this is not something that he will know necessarily. He knows he's on the second TC, he knows he's slightly ahead, but do you see what Loue has just clicked?
Loue is compensating for something.
He is getting the greatest castle bombard out there, which is going to help him make that final push that he thinks he needs to do right now. Him knowing that Beasty is on second TC, he feels pressured. 3 mangonels on the side of Beasty, but he doesn't have an answer to that bombard. That's going to be a tough one to handle.
Now I'll say, we've seen the Bombard quite a bit played from the Ottomans, and in Castle Age, yes, it is a decent answer to your enemy's siege. It does well, but it is not the powerhouse that you know from the Imperial Age. You don't get that much value out of it. 55 siege damage right there, and yes, I know it says high damage, but it still doesn't have a whole lot of health. It's still slow as all hell. It needs to set up.
Come on, that's like a medium bombard. It is called Great Bombard. Let's call it a good bombard.
It's a good
Bombard. It's a pretty good bombard. It's better than the bombards that don't exist in Castle Age. So this is a pretty good bombard.
Can we get back to all of those attack wings all over Beasty's area? I do think Loue was trying to attempt some more Sipahi raids, but Beasty's fully walled and he can't really find a purchase. Now that bombard, that good bombard has been moving far out there. We've got 4 mangoes for Beasty, and if he overextends here, really overextends into this, then the bombard might just get overrun and his vizier point might be negated. And we see Beasty just going for the dive, but so is the counter dive straight on the 4 mangonels. The big bombard survives, and we have the Sipahi just taking out these mangonels. One stays up, but Loue just moves on top of it with the Janissaries, shoots it straight up, and now the army numbers are squarely in Louis's favor again. Keep in mind, Beasty has a huge economy, absolutely no discussion here, but Loue has 4 military schools pumping away behind this anti-MIA.
The problem here is that was a bait bard. That was not just a good bombard. That was a bait bard. That man, he pulled them in, he reeled them in real good, and the Sipahis ran right around. Beasty was like, I'm gonna kill that man, brother. But no. Loue was ready with the Janissaries. He fought back, and beautiful defense and beautiful bait here by Loue. He knows exactly how to expose his opponents when they're feeling confident. Beasty does not have the mobile army he needs to handle this. Those villagers currently running for their lives.
The Vills, they do make it away. Loue, in the meantime, trying to put some pressure at the bottom side, but he does read Beasty well. They're trying to go for the top gold in the meantime. We do hear an age up. High armory is coming for Beasty there, and he will have the faster setting up mangonels. He will have the what's the word? The adjustable crossbars? Yes, I do believe so. And 42 spears to his name. Loue, though, he's smelling it. He already has 12 archers, and he's going for his own Imperial.
Yeah, that Imperial from Loue is gonna hurt a lot, because we know an Otto late game. We know a Loue late game.
Look at those Sipahi just having so much fun. I'll tell you, Sipahi raids feel amazing. You just run all over those beautiful farms, and you know, I have those long pikes, I have the huge base damage, and I'm mobile enough to just run rings around those spearmen.
That's exactly what Loue does. He's able to run around, control the base of the game. We see the high armory being quite forward. Now it is in the range of at least 3 of those siege workshops, but it is forward. And I feel like when Loue does get to this point of the game, where he is now getting his age up as well, he's going to get those great bombards himself. And they're going to be much harder to handle, especially with Beasty not getting that mobile army he needs. Now, Beasty is most likely just going to go into a lot of siege, but does he have the resources for this? We know his economy is strong, but is it going to be strong enough to handle these Sipahi raids, the fell swoop that those Sipahis have been doing, and the pure numbers coming out of Loue?
The problem for Beasty is right here. He would love to go into some horsemen of his own, fight straight up against the Ottoman army to get on top of the siege, but because the Janissaries exist, it's just not a great idea against the Ottomans. And well, how to put this, we do see the first upgrade coming in, the instant setup for the mangonels coming through the high armory. He has enough gold, and there's the adjustable crossbars. So 6 mangonels with upgrades. Istanbul Observatory is through. Loue does not have enough gold to get a whole lot. Let's see what he's prioritizing. It looks like it's going to be spy upgrade.
Now, what I absolutely love about this, Beasty earlier was like, I'm not going to worry about those Loue walls. I'm just going to go right through them. Those villagers that were going to drop that keep, they were blocked by it. Great Bombard now. That's an Imperial Great Bombard. He does not mind. Wait, that's just a reinforced one. He got the man right inside of it.
Pretty big now. Look, it now does 70 plus bonus, of course.
and it's got someone inside of him for that extra fast setup. These guys are going to be firing away, and Beasty needs time to get the siege, which I don't think he has.
Now, this vizier point that Loue just took for the extra siege crews, for these manning of his siege army, it is quite controversial because every time I talk to pro players, they say, is it actually worth it? They're not sure because it costs you population space to have that. That could just be extra siege that you could build.
Now, with Louis's great bombards, I don't know if he needs a lot of extra siege. With the protection that he has on top of them, it has been doing an amazing job. Now, we do see Beasty being raided now by those Sipahis. Loue going for another one on the farms, but we do see the army of Beasty moving in towards them, ready to defend at the bottom there. Now, there is some pinging into Louis's base as well. The spearmen now getting upgraded and loving their life. They are just running straight into the villages, causing a little bit of idle time. Most likely Beast thinking about replacing them with some more mobility, and we see he's added some mobility to the army, and he's got a lot of resources to replace.
The second Beasty realized there's actually a way straight into Louis's economy to the back where he does not have to deal with any of his army. Just immediately killed some horsemen, also queuing the upgrades, and now he's trying to go through the middle. There's 60 spears set up, and Louis going into 33 Sipahi at this point.
Now, you can see Beasty wants to stop this passive production. He knows he's ahead economically. He needs this. The spearmen run right into the Sipahi, trying to do a lot of damage. But keep in mind, those Sipahis are mobile. They're going to keep running. They're going to be okay. The spearmen causing a little bit of damage here. But this is still quite scary. Even though Beasty is ahead by 40 villagers, he is still not out of this.
The Istanbul Observatory, the passive economy of the Ottomans has been getting even better. 100% increased production speed on those military schools is indeed quite scary. We see Beasty going into the elite army tactics for his 50 spears. The mass spears still looking pretty scary. I'm kind of worried that we don't see any stealth sieges yet, but maybe it's just too expensive at this point to set up as he goes into bombards. And he gets the special upgrade for the bombards right there for the extra attack speed. Nice catch by Loue once again. Beasty trying to put up a keep on his farms and loses a few more villagers. And Beasty trying to burn a hole at the bottom side. Maybe I think he's just gonna trade out even more of these units. The spears, not that valuable. He still has some man-at-arms left over. I think he's gonna be transitioning into Streltsy and Horsemen very soon with just mass siege behind him.
The problem for Beasty is, even though he might be transitioning into another composition, great bombards are free.
Look at that.
And there's a lot of them. Oh, these guys are just going right through them. Two fights happening at the same time.
You bombard on the other side though, exposed. Those are very, I'll say expensive. They were free, of course, but they still are very valuable to Loue, so you do not want to lose them to a random spear run by that you actually scouted. Some spears on the farms from Beasty here as well, and Loue pulling a whole lot of military to deal with that. Not a whole lot of idle time, but some kills.
Now, the kills are going to matter for Beasty because this means that Loue won't be able to replace his army as easily. The thing is, Loue is kind of pop-capped, and he still has enough in the bank to handle this. We saw what happened with Loue having a big army before, a lot of siege. He's confident. He doesn't mind being down villagers. He just wants a big army, and then he'll push. And now the spies are trying to flank the siege yet again. Will Beasty let them?
Can our production real quick go to the upgrade tab and show us if Beasty has the siege works upgrade from the university? It does not look like it, even though the Sipahi of course have a huge bonus against siege. And Loue trying to go for the flank. He has full vision of that with the early tower up there in the front, but Beasty just took it down. We do have the university. He does not have the siege works, so his siege is still very vulnerable. Loue just going into the full big bombard composition with 6 Springles behind it. We've got 60 spears still for Beasty. He's just staying on that spear composition. We have the biology coming in for him now. I think he's just preparing the full horseman switch to go for a big dive on the economy as we see more men-at-arms just running in.
But we see that Loue is okay with this. Again, all those units he's getting, it's not dependent on this food. He likes the time that this gives him. Beasty is just focused on killing the economy that he's so slowly just replacing and getting free units out of as well, and more valuable ones at that. He doesn't have a lot of Janissars. Oh, and this is a massive raid, but...
Those are actually archers. They do look like villagers, but they're carrying bows around. These are not English villagers, don't worry about it. We're not hacking here.
So it does look like he picks up a few vills between all these archers as well. Very well disguised. But again, Loue does have top cap and he does have a scary army. The question is, does Beasty have the ability to get on top of this? He's got a lot of units in queue. And
he's just trying to spread his army, going in all directions at once, trying to get on top of the siege. He gets one mango for free, but with the crossbows, with the Janissaries behind it, and with some springled support just shooting in there. Oh, Loue is also getting up. More Loue walls. You see that right side spearman has already been taken out as Beasty is replacing them with a lot of horsemen behind.
Now it feels like Beasty is just throwing away a lot of his units, not really sure how to close this out. He knows Loue is very, very comfortable in this late game. We see Loue raiding himself. Even though he's under so much duress, he's still focused on keeping Beasty on his toes. In his wood line there, it does get a little bit of idle time, but Beasty doesn't mind that too much. He's also pop capped. He's already done the switch. There's a lot of units in his queue, and he's most likely going to be okay with losing a few vills, as they can be replaced pretty easily with that second TC.
Right now it's all about the siege. Beasty has a huge mass, Loue has a huge mass, and how much gold access do we actually have as Loue tries to get this keep up real fast, but he doesn't have enough units nearby, wants to pull back real quickly, so these horsemen don't actually snack on him too much. He's down to 50 economy. Maybe it would be time for a second town center for him at this point.
Yeah, no, I think we talked about Beasty raiding, Loue not minding, but at this point, Louis like, okay, I do need that second TC. I'll be getting one of those second TCs.
Maybe he should have gotten it 5 minutes ago, but still, it is a good time to have one right there. Beasty's just YOLO diving into his economy left and right. It's showing at this point. Loue does not have as many resources available anymore, and Siege is very expensive.
Siege is not hard or not easy to replace for Beasty, but Loue gets them for free every now and again, and they are great bombards at that. Now, Louis's numbers are plummeting a little bit. He's not able to replace those because of the idle time on those farms too, but he's still got a very scary army, and Beasty needs to be careful.
Down here. Does Loue see what is coming here straight through the wood line? Right behind this wall, he sees some Mangonels. Okay, he sees all of the shots actually. He knows where to hit and where to pay attention to. As the Spy come in once again, spears are just barely in time to not get overwhelmed. Nice shots by the Mangonels. The Bombards though just get taken out for free, and now Louis' siege mass arrive. Take a look at that spear mass as the Great Bombard starts shooting straight into it. Mangonels off the roost. Naturally, with all the upgrades, they are setting up instantly and they're doing a lot of damage. Loue doesn't want this fight right now.
But we see yellow dots all around the map. Beasty has been idling the eco, cleaned up those farms. He has more horses in the back and more on the front lines. There's just no way out for Loue. He's down to 152 supply, and even though the units are free, they're not free enough and not fast enough to replace this. He's still got a pretty big army, but he cannot replace this. Loue is holding on for dear life right now, trying to get back a little bit of an economy so that he can push this back. The Janissary mass that he didn't have may have helped here clean up those units that so easily went through them, but it feels like these Mangonels, he just couldn't shut them down.
Yeah, ironically for Loue right now, the lack of walls for him, or the fact that they're all wooden, so Beasty can just break through at every angle, it's really hurting him. You see Beasty just gonna go for another dive straight through the center. There's more attack wings coming in from the back. Every time Beasty touches this huge army ball of Loue, as we see the insufficient stone pop up there for Loue, and he cannot repair this keep again. How is his gold looking like? He has one villager on gold right now. This big gold there on the right side is his last saving grace, because he doesn't have access to any other. We do see one of the military schools going down to a spear raid of all things, and Sipai trying to get on top of the siege once again, but the spears are on the ball. Beasty still going with that 50 spear ball that he's been running for the longest time. We have once again people coming through the middle there. Beasty going in some ramps. These guys do not have wandering towns, but they do have the ram upgrade from Imperial Age.
Now those rams are going to be very hard to deal with because yes, there are a lot of Sipahis, but they need to be everywhere right now.
Oh, there's another dive straight to the wood line. Raiki, what is it doing?
He's just dying. All of them are already dead. Beastie, stop the villagers. There's none left. This feels like my game against the laser. I just couldn't stop raiding when I kept losing my army, but this is Beastie. He will not stop. He's going to keep raiding. He's going to keep trying to trade into those very valuable units, those great bombards standing very far forward. But it doesn't look like Beastie is going to have the numbers to take them down just yet. No stone for Loue, and that stone is going to start being expensive. 37 villagers now. There's horses everywhere. And we're just gonna get a lot of resources spent. Beastie still being very close to PopCap, and Loue, he's dwindling.
It just doesn't matter that Loue has a ball that Beastie cannot contest right now, because it is the only thing that Loue has left. There is half a base. There are some villagers trying to find a new home somewhere else on the map, and everything else is just burning.
And Loue down to 31 villagers now, using one of them to desperately repair those military schools. He knows these 3 units is where it's at, and this was the only reason he's able to overwhelm even while being behind now. Now, Beastie targeting those military schools and ensuring that Loue can't build them back because there's not a lot of wood left in that bank.
Yeah, Beastie now going back into the man-at-arms because Loue, he has so little resources that he cannot actually make the high-quality units anymore. He still has 15 crossbows, but they're mostly just standing on top of his siege ball. And yeah, how to put this? They're not really doing a great job defending anything.
Now, Beastie realized I cannot keep taking these fights face to face. I need to try and shut this down economically and slowly take things down, take better trades. And this has been the way to go for it. 27 villagers now on the side of Loue. Beastie is not looking at slowing down. We just keep seeing those yellow lines everywhere. The villagers running for their lives right now. Mangonels looking at that keep, never gonna get prepared. Those villagers are trying their best, but there's no way to keep this thing alive. The horses know where that second TC is, and they're waiting to intercept anyone who dares to get out of it. Sipahi's now still looking for that Mangonel mass, and they're doing a pretty decent job at finding them. But the spearmen are ready for action.
Loue does find a connection here on one of the Mangonels. Finds even more nice around by him. I mean, he's looking for this the entire time. This is a very costly fight for Beastie. Usually I'd say this is an absolute disaster for him, but I mean, look at the eco numbers. Beastie is on 119, Loue is at 30, and 17 of them are currently idle. Loue just has no income.
Loue is down to 117 supply. This late in the game, it just looks like Beastie might have just wanted to get rid of those Mangonels. He says, you guys are not great at dealing with that keep, and we're going to be making plans with bombards instead. Now, the horsemen again everywhere. Sacred Side Timer finally activated by Beastie, putting another win condition for him in this game. Great bombards are looking scary, but they're only scary in a team fight.
I think it is time. I think Loue has judged it is time. He has 6 greater bombard, he has 5 springles, and the rest of his army. He's moving straight to the middle, and this is going to be the last hurrah. Beastie is going straight into his own bombards, and he's replenishing his horse numbers. He's going into man-at-arms. He's going into even more spears. But he's currently PopCap because, well, he's everywhere, and he needs to start losing more units.
Now, Beastie doesn't mind losing more units, but he's going to realize something's cooking because the boys are getting closer. He's still going for that eco, but we saw this happen before. Loue doesn't mind just going straight into your base and killing your face. So let's see if Loue is going to be able to do that.
4 landmarks in a straight line. Loue knows exactly where they are. He's been in Beastie's base enough earlier that he has quite the lay of the lands. And Beastie sees this army. He knows what's up. Is he gonna start intentionally deleting villagers here, or is he just gonna try to trade this out?
Now, Beasty has that choice, right? He's got the units, he's got everything he needs for this. Those horsemen at the back, they're going to be dying, but he will be able to replace them back at the base. Those great bombards are going to destroy it so quickly. No more siege is going to be able to come out of here any time now. But we just see Louis' villagers falling 28 now, but that's a lot of great bombards.
Army's just walking in. I do wish we kind of had an overview of what is going on around us right now, because I'm sure Beasty's setting up to flank this right about now. But the army position is very scary for Loue. He is in range of multiple landmarks. That is a first shot that is taking a third of the town center's health. We have some villagers diving in, and if there's enough, they'll be able to take insufficient wood for Loue. He cannot repair his siege. That's the big detriment. We see the mass villager dive on top of the siege. Beasty's losing so much as well, but look at his bank. He's still going strong. Greater bombard numbers though, also still going strong, and Louis' army is not actually diving as far down as I thought they would.
It's a landmark race.
Look at the back of the base for Loue. He has 1, 2, 3, and 4. Beasty just sneaking it out. Nicely played.
That was a base race, and Louis knew he was not going to be able to match that. The villagers, the boys, they were all pulled ready for this. But Louis, he was just a little bit too dead in the villager department. Right now, we also have an update. Demu, King of the North from last year, retains the spot as the highest ranking Nordic player in Europe, as he just took down Kiliardi 3-2.
Do you still think you can call him McQueen if Kiljardi takes 2 games? I don't think that's appropriate.
But Demu, he had the crown. He had the crown last year, and he deserves to keep it, because Kiljardi, number 4, Demu, number 3. And now we will see if Beasty and Louis, who wants to take that number 1 spot.
Well, I'll say once again, Mareike, I'm sorry, you're not right. It's not a 4-0.
But guys, we finally got to see Rus in a game, and now we know why it's banned. It's busted. But it's busted in the hands of the right players, especially. Ottomans showed us they can handle themselves against a Rus destruction. Now, guys, we are getting into game 4 soon enough, but these players will definitely need a few moments to gather their thoughts, gather their emotions, because when you get into a base race, things get kind of heated. And now we have Louis here all the way from China, Beasty all the way from Serbia. I'm joking. It's like we're kind of neighbors here. But all the Scandinavian boys joining us as well. It's absolutely amazing. I can't believe we got such a huge crowd for this. And it gets me excited for what's to come for the rest of the year. And now we'll see the same in JD versus Malians. Now, JD has been a civ that people have been sleeping on, and I feel like when Beasty beat Marine Lord in the EGC finals, the last ST tournament, you guys all watched that, we all know what that is about. He picked JD and French, and a lot of players did not play it at that point. This tournament, I feel like after they saw it, a few more people tried to play it, but the JD timing is so sensitive, because this is a very fragile unit at the start. It's a very difficult unit to control when you're used to just controlling knights, but people are picking up on it, and they're trying their best to actually make it work. Now, Malians, though, it used to be a French counter. Now, we'll see what it can do against the little JD, but I've seen her dance under your TC at level 3, arrows firing, you only having 6 cows and begging for your life. So we'll see if JD can do that again. Now, my vote for this one is purely not on the player, but on the civilization. I think JD can take this one, especially on a map like Dry Arabia, where Malians cannot corner you too much.
It's a little bit spawn dependent, I'll say, but you're quite right there. We do see Beasty at the top side as the Malian player. We have Louis in the south playing JD, and we'll see what he can do right here. Beasty though with a beautiful back gold. They're protected by 2 wood lines. Louis has to go all the way around. His second gold is also in the corner there behind. So Beasty's gonna be liking that spawn. It's not quite the Beasty spawn that you usually see.
Now, I actually thought we had the civs the other way around, as our UI was showing us, but we see Beasty is on Mali, and so I'm a little bit worried for this man here.
stay calm and blame Cow.
Cal, he made us believe that this was going to be simple. I did see another donation coming through. I could not see the name, but thank you, sir. And Beasty getting those extra bit of houses on the gold. Now, guys, that is a little bit of an interesting one. Now, we used to play Malians the normal way, where we get 6 houses, call it a day. But this is a professional scouts build. And in this, ladies and gentlemen, in this meta, we're going to be going for scouts. That's what Beasty says. And that is why we get that extra house on the gold, so that you can instantly queue up the pro scouts as you are aging up.
I wish you just hadn't told people that, because now more people will be playing professional scouts and they now will know how to do it.
Well, Chris, we have a DLC coming, and I believe in our devs. They will make professional scouts end. Can I get a hell yeah, Twitch chat? Hell yeah!
Hell yeah! But I made a deal with Deepshine. I need to play some ladder, or I need to play some customs against her, and it's gonna be pro scouts all over.
Pro scouts are for the weak. We know that, ladies and gents. And when we're playing with JD, School of Cavalry coming up, she's not a woman who's weak. She's a woman who will come and harass your houses when she's ready. Aging up with 2, though, tells us he wants that age up to be pretty quick, but the knight pressure needs to be there as well. 4 on gold right now. Now, when we usually have 4 on gold, this signifies just a knight, but people have stopped producing knights and also going for pro scouts themselves. So I'm excited to see what Loue decides to do here. I would love to see one side pro scout and the other side not, so we can actually learn how to deal with this.
That would be beautiful, but quite honestly, I do not expect this, unfortunately. We do think... what do you think, though? Who's going to go into spears first? Are we just gonna see the Malian warrior scouts come out no donzos for the time being? Because JD, of course, being pretty good at denying those melee units. We see the mill come up. Great, it's gonna be a pro scouts build. You were right.
Oh my goodness, pro scouts in this meta? What just happened?
I'm so surprised. No, we shouldn't be that dismissive of it.
No, I love pro scouts.
Look, I don't love pro scouts because you no longer move villagers on top of the map. But at the same time, it's really very interesting to see the fights for the deer. And it's a lot of APM and a lot of multitasking you still have to be doing.
Now, we can see pro scouts being queued up from JD here. 4 villagers actually being enough for the knight and the pro scouts right after.
Yeah,
now,
you see that. He had 1 gold left over. This was perfect.
Yeah, he was perfectly timing it. Beasty, though, hasn't started his. Now, should not delay him too much. He is almost getting there. We see the gold is ready, but Beasty took
Beasty
a book.
walls? Are we going to start calling them Beasty walls?
Not yet. This was sponsored by
Wally
Loue.
Cutie?
Wally Cutie. Do not start that. We will be in a lot of trouble. 2 tournaments down the line. Are those Beasty walls? No. They are Loue walls. Loue walls are the inspiration. He is the OG. The OG creator after Wham walls, of course. Now, Beasty, getting those pro scouts pretty early on, they are going to be quite nice to have because your knights are expensive. Loue now getting a second one out already, meaning that he's only going to get those 2 scouts pretty early on. And JD, she's got her blade out. She's ready to fight.
Warrior Scout upgrade is already in for Beasty, and that guy, he's gonna trade out with the Scout. That's pretty ballsy with JD standing right next to him there. She's having none of that. She's just trying to smack him around, but yeah, Beasty's just gonna leave there, trying to keep Louis's eyes primed on that as the knight is trying to come in from the side. And we do have a first barracks out for Beasty. He does not want to chance it on just defending with the Warrior Scouts.
Now, with Beasty getting a 5th one, this could be a little bit spicy, because they deal quite well with JD herself, as they heal pretty well, but the Scout is the target!
I don't know about that cleave there. He only hits the one the other ones with. And Beasty's just ignoring Jenny as she doesn't have that much damage going on right now. And he grabs 5 deer instantly. Okay, has to leave 1 behind because the second knight arrives right there. And a 3rd knight is already on the way. Loue does not want to give up the rest of this deer pack.
No, Loue is playing it so aggressively. He lost one of his scouts. This means that he is going to have to produce another one from the stable. And this is going to slow down a little bit of that knight firepower, but he needs to get the food himself. We do see that first Donzo coming out too, and yet another scout queued up for Beasty. Now, when you have this many scouts, you've invested so many resources into this. And you see there's no villagers over here on the gold. This is going to mean that these guys are going to be pretty happy harassing that. And you don't have any of your upgrades that you usually do. There's no wheelbarrow. Your villagers are squishy. It is a very tough time to be part of this. But he's going to try to keep making those zonzos and keep getting the deer. Because while they are engaged here, they're not stopping you from professional scouting. But what I want us to look at is quickly at the deer spawns. So with the deer spawns around the map, Beasty is able to pick up a few, and he's
all
yoinking.
the way in the back of Jenny's base and just yoinking those away. But meanwhile, Loue is going straight for the pit mine, and Beasty's just gonna use those Donzo to just step up, throw a spear at the knight, and then turn away again. Jenny has to step up precariously here and threaten these guys, or they're just gonna keep doing it over and over and over. Pitmine has been set afire, but the villagers already pulled. Jenny, though, going forward, getting a nice cleave, clipping 3 of them. And the villager is also among them, trying to go for the charge. And no, he doesn't get the Vil. No way.
Very, very risky move here from Beasty. A villager going down this early in the game is so tough for any civilization, especially against a civilization that snowballs like JD. Now, we do see the scouts trying to fight back. Beasty targeting the scout instead. Doesn't want to let him get these for free. We have 5 scouts.
Can he get this? No way he can get this guy down on that short of a distance. I guess we just don't want to chance it. Switch it around to the other scout. We do have a knight coming out. The charge is going to connect. We're under TC. Loue does have villagers there, but he does not Garrison in time. And Beasty, he grabbed 4 venison from the other deer pack there on the right side already. He's doing a good job just grabbing them from different spots as Louis' attention is elsewhere.
Now, with Loue having limited knights, he's putting them all in one army, which means he cannot deny all of the scouts around the map. And Beasty is making yet another one. The problem is those charges are going to make the villagers mount. He's getting forestry.
Coming all the way from the top, out of the fog. Beasty does not see, does not react. And... oh, whoa. Gets one. Gets... only one? Really?
Only one. Apparently,
with 5 knights out of the blue?
In these games, apparently the players do not take damage, and it's only the rest of us that fall to knights.
I would have lost 5 villagers right there.
And he's finally getting the army back in position as well. The villagers going back towards the trees, respecting the knight charges, and now the scouts are firing back. Remember,
nice point-blank charge there. We get the scout taken out. The other one makes it away. Sorry, I was interrupting you.
That's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm just here talking about scouts and stuff. Look at all those guys. They're carrying carcasses. And I wanted to talk about...
leave a carcass behind.
Just for Loue. Loue is a hungry boy. You can see he's got a lot of knights.
Oh, I was talking about the carcass of his friend there.
Oh. Now, with those guys, they're not able to get anything else as the carcass was picked up. Unfortunately, Loue taking that last deer from the pack. And we'll see now if these numbers are going to start mattering. Because it feels like Loue did not get that initial timing he needs to make something happen with JD, to force these fights that are usually very unfavorable for Malians. Because now Beasty is getting into that point where he's going to start being able to make cows. He's consistently making units. And this is where Malians gets really, really scary. And Loue, I don't know what his plan is here. He's getting double broadaxe. He's trying to find his way in this. Beasty's suiciding a few of these scouts for the hope to see what's going on and what the transition is. But he's going to run into archers, which, honestly, is to be expected against Donzos.
Yeah, unfortunately for Loue, he did find a few kills here and there, but if you look at JD's experience, it's still only a third of the way to level 3. That is not what you like to see if you're already 11 minutes into the Feudal Age against a Malian player. And Beasty, he has set up a full second pit mine. He has caught a lot of the deer from the map under his town center. You see the blacksmith going up, and now Beasty is actually moving out onto the map, being aggressive, and we might not be able to hold this right here, but it is a fight. If we can take a good one, Jenny will be just happy.
Now, Beasty's macro is a little bit all over the place. We don't really know what he's investing in, and it feels like he is floating a bit of food here, overcommitting a little bit on the gather rate here. The problem is, JD loves a good fight. And with Beasty getting the upgrades now, it does take a while to kick in. JD will not mind sitting back and taking this, but Beasty needs to be so careful with the micro on these units. The thing is, I feel like he's the player that can do this right. Now the Donzos are moving forward. Scout's taking a little bit of fire damage here. He needs to be careful. Some of the Knights are out of position, and they do pick up the Scout reinforcement. We see Scout still in the production of Beasty. It's because he has so much food, and he just doesn't have a way to spend it right now. But keep in mind, Loue now, he is putting the consecration there on the stables. He has it on the TC. It does allow you to make these units for a little bit cheaper than we usually see on the French.
Beasty's army numbers now looking quite scary. He has 13 javelins to his name, 30 Donzos almost. Do you think we're gonna see a Farimba? Because
No.
cow counter is only at 2. We see another cattle ranch going up. Yeah, I don't necessarily see it as well. I think only Demu plays it.
Yes, yes. I was actually talking to Beasty about the Farimba earlier, and there were some heated opinions. Him and Kiljardi were discussing it as well, and it feels like the favor is onto the Farimba Corel. It's just, oh no, Farimba. Oh my gosh, I just put them all together.
It's
my
all
gosh.
good. We've all been there. We've all built a Farimba in between a lot of cattle ranches at some point.
We are gonna get the Fulani Corel, most likely from Beasty. He trusts in the food, he trusts in the mode of Zerg. He was a StarCraft player for so long, he knows the power of having 1,000,000 units. So this man is not going to be shy with that.
Loue actually also slipping a bit on his macro there, floating a lot of food as he re-macros right at that moment and pulls a lot off of it. Because Jenny in the Feudal Age, she has 25% reduced food cost on their consecrated buildings. As we see another raid going into the woodline, and this time we actually find some damage. I'll say some. If you run into a woodline with 5 knights, maybe you expect to pick up more than 2 kills, but at this level, that's actually quite a bit. Leaves behind a knight though, and needs to pay attention that it stays at 1 knight. It doesn't look like it though. There's going to be another spear throw in a second. 2 knights are already down, but he just barely gets out of range.
The thing is, that's a lot of units. I'm feeling a little bit scared here for Loue. It feels like Loue also knows this. He knows how strong Malians can be when they don't get punished. And it feels like there was no punishment involved here. 6 cows now in the ranches. Consistent production from Beasty. This fight could make or break the game right now, and it does look like they're out for blood. Loue, woof, not so sure about it yet.
There's 3 scary components right here. As long as these Donzos are up, the Knights can't really do anything, and there's 45 of them. We only have 23 archers. At this point, usually you see a giant archer ball for the French variant, but there's already more Javelineers on the field than there's even archers on there. And it also means that JD, she's just gonna be instantly popped.
Now JD will break in half the moment those javelins even look at her funny, but those Donzos, they'll be able...
It doesn't even need to be the javelins. The Donzos will just throw once, and then
she'll be history.
She's dead.
Yeah, that woman, poor history she had. But now, Beasty is getting a solid amount of cows.
You see what Louis is cooking behind there, though.
And Loue is cooking, and Loue loves a good Royal Institute. And anyone loves a Royal Institute, but Jenny doesn't love a good spear throw. She does take a little bit of damage, but now Beasty realizes this is out of position. He is going to keep pushing here, and this is most likely the best choice he can make, because this is the moment when Loue slows down production and goes for the Royal Institute. When you have 21 knights, it would be a war crime not to get the Royal Institute, and he knows this. He gets the Royal Institute, and now he needs to make sure that he has enough gold to upgrade those bad boys. That is going to be his main army.
Can we get Beasty's vision real quick here? Because naturally, he will know that something's going on. The JD variant is not aggressive. He knows that as long as Jenny's not getting any of her experience in, there's really no threat to him right now. And he's abusing that because we already have 15 cattle. But there's also the scary moment when the bloodlines hit. Beasty's just gonna try to go for his own castle timing now.
Beasty with castle is going to hit hard for a while. In a while, actually, because the Royal Institute is going to be hitting a lot harder, a lot quicker as well. Instantly getting those veteran upgrades for both the archers and the knights. We'll see what he chooses next. Most likely Royal Bloodlines, because you want those knights to be extra fiery. And now Loue is looking to break through those walls. He's like, hey, these remind me of my last game.
Oh, no, no. You know what that reminds me of? This situation right there. Please, Loue, pull back. Don't go in. No, no, no.
Oh, he's going to make a sandwich. We've seen the sandwich before,
We've
Chris.
seen the sandwich before. It was in a Loue game, and it was Loue doing the sandwiching. And I am really scared about this because those knights, they're the main reason we went Royal Institute right there. And now they're stuck.
They're stuck, but they will have a way out if Beasty allows this. The thing is, that wood line is wide open. There's two armies here, and it feels like Beasty needs to split these units up, and you don't want to be splitting up in this situation.
Big engagement in the middle. Loue does get the knights on top of some javelins, but now needs to pull back because the Donzo numbers are just so overwhelmingly strong. JD all the way in the back of the army, but Loue playing it nicely, gets the knights out, mostly loses one or two here and there. It is still fine. He's on 23. Royal Bloodlines is about 35 seconds out at this point, I'd assume. And he sees the H-up right there.
And Beasty needs to be careful here. If he loses too many units, he's cooked. But right now, trying to age up with as many as he can. 20 cows in the ranches right now. He's got enough gold for upgrades too. Trying to get as much as he can before he's pulled off. And Royal Bloodlines about to be kicking in. Thing is,
JD level 3 is popping now. We're gonna be seeing some champions come in as well. Or will we go for the riders? No, I do think you go for the champions just because of the sheer number of Donzos right here. Because you want to win this game right here, right now. There they are. And Bloodlines is in, second range defense is in. Beasty's about to hit the H-up, then it's 30 seconds to his upgrades. This is the time that Loue needs, and he's going in.
the thing is, those knights can still take a very unfavorable engagement. The javelins have such good base damage. He does pick up quite a bit of kills. Donzo's overextending a little bit. Beasty getting the Donzo upgrade. They're going to take in a few seconds. The javelins are so close to it. Donzo's finally upgraded, and JD screams her cry, heals up her army, and let's see if this can hold.
No, those are so many Donzos. We have 22 knights, but the heal was just a little bit premature. I feel like he needed to do it, otherwise JD would have been sniped out. But look at the numbers. Knights just not dying. Donzo numbers are rapidly falling. We do have Beasty producing more Donzos, just going into Donzos and Javs, but nothing else. And looks like Louis' numbers are just, he's still on 80 knights, 70 knights. Beasty's income is great, but his army is not, it's just not there anymore. Look at JD just cleaving down the villagers and Royal Bloodlines, baby.
Royal Bloodlines kicking it at just the right time. You can see Loue is so happy with that victory. Beasty had it there for a moment, and just that idle time from the commitment in Loue showed us that this is not going to be an easy one for Beasty. Now on match points and also a redraft. Now, for those of you who don't know how this usually works, this is now where the players get to sit down, look at the last maps that they have, and re-pick some of the civilizations that they have in the previous one. Redrafts should be a lot less common with the expansion coming up, but we still have too few civs for that in this scenario. But we see now that economy, at some point Beasty was looking like he could hold it, but those upgrades just kicking it at exactly the right time. So Loue doing an amazing job at showing us what he can do on low ping. So we definitely have a very tight match between these two. Beasty was very confident coming into this. I
feel
told
like
him
he was very confident in the game just now. Sorry,
Yeah.
I keep interrupting you the entire time,
it's
but
okay, it's
like
okay.
he felt the game was going in his favor. He just pulled back and thought, "Yeah, I have a beautiful timing. I have my full cow boom. I'm aging up just like a minute after him. This is gonna work out great."
It's just a minute. I can pull my army back. And that's the problem. You don't usually see this side of Loue. You don't get to practice against this side of Loue. And that's basically what I think Beasty has now
A minute is
experienced.
much longer on 200 ping.
Oh, definitely. And now we do see these two full focus mode. Loue looking calm. Beasty, I would say as well. But I feel like the pressure is up for Beasty here. This is not any game. This is the game.
It is the game, but it is his map pick. It is his civilization choice. He knew that Louis' strongest civ would be the HRE, and it would likely come out right here, right now. And French used to have a very favorable matchup into HRE. Actually just applying that pressure, denying the food. Himeyama is a good map for French because it's so open. Loue will be forced, for example, into that early barracks, and Beasty's just putting up the tower already. So this is gonna be completely gone away unless... now that spear is gonna be alive. Can we see if there's a villager making it across possibly as well?
Now, that is a very normal response.
No.
Ooh, Loue, I thought you were the defensive king. What is this, sir? Now, that's exactly what people have been asking. So, Loue is defensive, right? What else does he do? Apparently, everything. This man will just keep going no matter what. And Loue keeps making spearmen. He sees the tower, but he's like, no worries, sir. I'm just going to keep making these bad boys. And on Himeyama, a tower rush is so powerful because usually you deny more than one resource. Now, luckily for him, the gold is the only resource he will be denying here, but it will also put pressure on that deer that French so loves to get.
Is directly behind it. That's so unfortunate for Beasty. Beasty already aging up. He does have enough, and by the time this tower goes up, he will also have enough for his first night. So he's quite fine there, but what he will not have is access to pro scouts.
Now this feels like it could be a choice, and I know that I talked to Beasty about this matchup specifically if your gold gets denied. And he felt a little worried for the guy who runs out of gold here, and I don't know if Beasty is going to be comfortable with this. 9 on gold now, he wants pro scouts. He's like, I'm getting pro scouts no matter what,
so
brother.
Bad. By the way, he does have a nice little gold there all the way in the corner. Unfortunately, it is not behind his base, but a little bit to the side. But it is basically on the other side of the base, so he'd force a lot of movement from Loue.
Now, with Loue getting that tower up, it was quite an investment, but it definitely will pay off. We can see now 200 gold in the bank. It's not enough for pro scouts, but Loue says, watch me, I'm going to do the same. He gets another load of gold himself to try and ensure that he's going to have enough for pro scouts. Now, Beasty needs to move this very quickly, otherwise he's going to be a villager down. And he loses that first villager.
But he does...
And another one!
Is this really worth it for the extra drop-off? No, I do think these guys have been forgotten there. What is he going to need the extra gold for?
You can see it on Beasty's...
Oh, never mind. I just realized. Hold up. French Pro Scout is discounted, so he was going to go for the Knight and the Pro Scouts. Does he have enough here?
I am not... No, I don't think so in this case. But Beasty now, losing 2 vills, he knows how bad this is. You saw the head scratch. He realizes, oh no. Now, keep in mind, French, they do get those extra vills as time goes on. So they are okay for a while. But this is not... This was a very successful tower. This is like tower rushing and killing 2 villages straight out.
100%. Minework Palace coming up. We've heard Beasty talk about the minework yesterday here on the cast, and he was advertising it quite well, making a case for it being used. Kind of surprised that Loue leaves the spears in the tower. I would have expected him to just push the deer on top of his own mill.
Yeah, at this point, when you have that control, you just get to move them wherever you like. But I guess he wanted to make sure he doesn't get raided.
All of these things. He's insane. Do you see him there on the stone getting ready for the arrow slits on the tower? And I do think with the amount he has on it, maybe we'll see a double drop-off and also a fortify.
And this could force your opponent to have to invest so much more than they really want to. And no, they're just going for one old load, and then they're hey, villager, we said one load and one load only. Minework being the choice, though. This is a pretty good position for Loue. He's now in charge. Now there are archers coming out. And the thing is, when you're getting archers or an archery range this early as the French, it's not optimal. You want to be having knights. You want to be running around the whole map.
Speaking of the knights, it is going towards Louis' base right now. They're at the top side, going around the wood line. Beasty has the scout here. He sees the villagers on the wood. Loue does not. Oh, he does see the knight come in, and at that speed, what a reaction time. Whew.
Loue showing us it's been the ping all along. This is what he's waited for his whole life.
Knight comes around again, going for another charge. The prelate has been pulled out there, waiting. It is inspiring all of the vills out there, and it has the added benefit that if you get a little bit of healing in before the second hit, speaking of second hit, no charge this time, so he needs 3, and the spears will not let that happen. Herd Villager is being pulled back, will be healed up, and be switched out. And Loue finds a scout kill as well. Beasty moving his archers out there, and we see the all pikes. It is going to be either Mass Spearman or Spear Horseman, which would be the expected one. And it is an A move comp. Beasty finding the first deer for his own. And he's actually hurting quite a bit for food. He doesn't get a whole lot in just yet.
And
Trying to box in the night there. Sorry, keep going. I just keep talking because it's just fun to watch.
The problem is now, with all those spears, he gets to deny all of the pro scouts. This is a very, very tough position for French to come back from, because now Loue is already transitioning into horsemen, and this is going to be so hard to push back. He's got one out on the map, and how do you even get back in control here? He's already gone onto the back gold for Beasty. Has already gone back on the back gold. He needs this gold. He needs to get knights himself, because if he's going to contest those horsemen, he needs some knights.
Double archery range and Bloomery coming in for Loue there. Double archery range for Beasty, naturally. Going into the mass archers, but as you say, the horsemen are on the field, and we see the range defense immediately coming behind it with the discounted minework tech, also researching much faster. Beasty going into some walls there, and we see 4 deer being picked up and brought home. Those are very important for Beasty right now. Survival techniques coming in for him as well.
Beasty using those walls to actually stay alive in this. With French, you do need that time to get that villager lead, build up this villager lead, villager even in this case. Now, the knight did not provide that historic raiding ability that we've seen from them. There's a singular
just
one
knight. He's still alive. He's somewhere, I'm sure.
Now, these villagers are trying to get a safe place to get the food from, and this is not the HRE we're used to seeing. The HRE we're used to seeing is an HRE that builds farms in the base. They love their life. This man, he doesn't mind going out on the map, and we never see this against French. Being able to go out on the map against a French player is definitely not on the bingo card for anyone.
A lot of archers waiting behind that woodline, trying to take out the scout, but pulls back in time, and now the numbers are actually revealed. And Beasty, he just didn't have the gold yet to get in. He doesn't even have the blacksmith, he doesn't have the bloomery, but look at that yoink. The tower is not enough with just the arrow slits. The horseman trying to get some kills here, trying to take back that food. How much can Beasty secure himself? It is that much closer now to his own TC. Loue does not have his own pro scouts, so these will eventually go under French control.
But it just shows you how
No,
good...
not the only knight. Just one more yoink.
The knight lives to fight another day, but this is a knight that is going to be very useless for the next while in the game. And Beasty did not get a lot of deer to actually survive this. He does get a kill!
It's the 1 HP knight, and he actually takes out a Vil on his way out.
Now that is a very important kill for Beasty, because that knight needed to pay its value. And yes, he tried to get some idle time for a while. He forced some spearmen into the base. But now there's 16 spears in front of his face and 7 horsemen with +1 range defense.
I'm very scared for Beasty here because Loue is going all the way around the base, aiming for his back gold, and I don't think Beasty will see this coming at all. Will he expect this? No vision just yet. He does have a few villagers here that are looking around the wood line, but Louis' army, I think, will just pop out. He's going straight for the wood line. Beasty is looking at this and is pulling back just in time. And the scout sees the villagers there on the deer pack outside. And we see another kill coming in for Beasty. Another kill. 3 dead villagers on the HRE side.
Now, this is the type of raiding that Beasty needs to make this work, and we see that is...
another one.
Oh, that is the power of knights. If you let your opponent go back on gold, this is exactly what happens, and he gets another one. Now, Beasty very committed to this, trying to get yet another one, but it doesn't look like these knights will have that opportunity. And then the knight will be going down, and now slowly Beasty is starting to pick off this army of Loue.
Yeah, Beasty was in a corner there, but getting a lot of the deer on the map actually gave him a lot of staying power here, and Loue just couldn't find more damage as Beasty, I'll say, trading one knight per villager is usually not worth it. Pro Scout skews up that ratio just a little bit, but I'll still say it's just not worth it. We do have Beasty going there on the back as Loue tries to come for another round. Archers just taking out a lot of spears. These are not favorable trades. If you look at destroyed value, Beasty's just mounting up, and at the bottom side we have Loue applying more pressure. Beasty still pumping the archers out of 2 archery ranges, and we have the knight numbers. What does that sound?
Now, when I am Loue in this case, I know I've killed a lot of villagers in the early game. I know I've done a lot of aggressive moves here. I've committed to quite a composition. And all in all, I feel a little bit stuck now because I just let my opponent get back into the composition he's comfortable with. So Beasty now on 29 soon-to-be archers. He is probably feeling a little bit confident, but he needs to be careful. We've seen what he does with those raids.
Not the sheep, you monster!
That poor sheep's carcass will probably not even be taken back to the base. Poor guy. French sheep at that as well.
Yeah, I'll say the scary part about this right now is if you look at Beasty, he's getting his upgrades, he's getting the range defense, he's going to get rid of this tower. And since there's... Never mind, there is a reaction from Loue. And so Beasty will not actually smell this. We do see one villager go down. Maybe can snag a second one. No, cannot quite do it. And he's going for a double-pronged attack again from the front at the same time. And behind all of this, if you look at Louis' resources, they are definitely trending towards Castle Age. He's getting the wheelbarrow, he has a lot of villagers out on the map. So far the Knights have been easily able to catch up to his. He's applying more pressure at the bottom side, he's just coming in from all angles. This is very scary if you split your army like that, because look at that huge archer ball that Beasty has going. If you don't pay attention here, you will easily lose a lot of your army. But it also, oh my god, he's coming in from the front again as the third control group is still being chased by the Knights. And we're almost up to Castle Age at this point for the HRE.
The amazing ability from Loue to idle Beasty the whole time. Every time Beasty reacts, there's another attack just following suit. And this just shows exactly that Loue can do anything. He can sit in his base, play the long game, and then all of a sudden he can be aggressive and destroy your face. With him having 2 prelates in this as well, he's probably going to be very happy going to castle and getting some relics of his own.
We need to pay attention here. Knight's gonna not find the connection, but there's enough Knights here to burn this tower. There is no auto repair available, and we see another yoink. Well, that guy will have to leave the deer behind, because the horseman numbers for Loue are quite enough to deal with this. Beasty, a little bit of a mismatch going on there, or he's just piling up gold for Castle Age already, but he's also aiming to go towards it. As far as food goes though, he was not able to yoink away too many of Louis' deer. He still has some directly in front of his base. And now it's Beasty trying to waste Louis' time here and keep his attention at home, so he does not punish this castle timing that Beasty is going for. Regnitz Cathedral is coming up.
Now, with Beasty getting these Knights to the back here, it's still really scary because those are your powerhouses or power horses in this case. And we see that beautiful surround.
The spears are catching up. That is just 4 dead Knights immediately. Perfectly played by Loue right there. Beasty's not going to be happy about that one. He's going to be yoinking the deer right in front of that base of his from the HRE mill. But Regnitz, as we said, almost finished. Loue has 2 prelates going. Where are they right now? I'm curious.
They're in position, I can tell you that. That's the kind of man Loue is. He's ready for these age ups. We'll see if they're going to be able to instantly do the relic yoink. But Beasty now losing those Knights that he lost. This is going to delay his castle. You can see he's still making units consistently, still making Knights. And this makes that difference between Royal Institute and Guildhall so obvious. You can see instantly cancelling all those units. He wants to be aging up himself. Going to force some of those drops-offs, definitely, but you see the amount of gold he's floating. He knows this is a very, very limited time.
Oh, no,
Loue
that's
wants
all the
this.
forward food there, and Loue is just going to come out of the blue. He doesn't even need to wait for his upgrades, because there is only 6 Knights left. gets a full surround there on 3 of the villagers. He's gonna be pulling back here, waiting for the upgrades to come in. He could, I think, take this fight right now. He doesn't want to, and he doesn't need to. Royal Institute with 24 villagers being pushed out.
The problem is, Royal Institute, it doesn't give you free upgrades. Royal Institute needs knights on top of that as well.
It doesn't give you food either, look at that.
He is going to be starving for quite a while. Beasty doesn't have any other food on the map. The only hope he has between this is that Loue runs in.
Veteran upgrades hitting right now. We have a Wololo attempt there at the top for defending against the Knight Raid. Now Loue will have to run, but this is not the actual strike that he's planning. He's going straight in. Horsemen need to flank around the Institute because they're nicely positioned here right in front of the TC, but Loue gets the surround. This is a good fight for Beasty so far, but it's going to turn sour pretty soon. The Deer Gathering is also idled out. Beasty has no food income whatsoever. This is the entire army he has left, and it's dwindling.
The problem is, he was able to hold this for a second, but the +2 range defense just turned this fight even worse. It looked like Loue was losing so many units, but in the end, it looks like Loue is going to be able to kill off all these units from Beasty. Every little bit he has, he's spending right now.
Beasty's still on 15 food. He has no way to get back into this. Louis's numbers are still great, and Loue just takes it 4-1. We have our winner.
And Loue taking his first LAN appearance, his first LAN victory. Loue, raiding all the way from China. I know, a very big streamer over there.
You know what? I'm gonna get rid
is
of these
gonna be
before Loue comes in here. He's gonna think I'm a weird person.
Now, we are going to be getting his translator here to do a little bit of an interview here for the champion. The man played his heart out, and he showed us exactly what he can do.
First of all, congratulations on your win. Our champion of today. That was an impressive display. And gotta ask, were you confident? This was Beasty's map pick in the last one. And he was expecting the HRA. He knew it was your strongest Civ right there. Were you confident against the French?
最后一把这个你进来的时候，你觉得怎么样？就是你有信心吗？因为这是 BC 的图 ，BC 的文明。
我觉得我有没有信心，因为已经拿了好多个赛点了，就正常打就好了。
I'm at match points for so long already. I don't even need confidence anymore.
We could talk about those games for a long while. They were all impressive displays. I'm kind of interested in your take on those Ottomans because you were looking really good there for the longest time, and then Beasty just started to play your own game against you. It felt like with all of the horseman raids. Let's just end off on the games with that one. How did that feel? What do you think went wrong in the Ottoman game?
那把鄂图曼对局，刚开始看起来还算顺利，对不对？可是最后突然 BC 算是翻转过来，用你的招式打你，开始狂穿你。有什么想法对这把？
这把奥斯曼没有一直在被打多线，我中期应该去打一波的，我没有打一波就被他拖死了。他RTC 补得很早，经济比我好。
Yeah, so his eco is much better because it's much earlier to TC. He should have just do a timing in the mid game and just try to kill him. And yeah, he missed the timing, so then he was dragging to the late game.
That was the only timing he missed today because we saw that Mali game of Beasties where he was feeling really confident and he just loses it in 30 seconds right there as he tries to ace up. But anyway, enough of the games today. We have our champion right here. If Kao wants to come out again, we can give away this trophy there because, you know, otherwise I'll do it.
There's nothing left to say. You've done a great interview. The trophy is yours. The big one.
Good luck finding the right one.
Okay. Yeah.